I hadn't listened to the Frank Ocean Blonde album in a while. And on the outro, Frank said one of the sickest bars I've ever heard in my entire life. It made me feel
which
uncomfortable.
album?
The Blonde album, his last one.
Okay.
He said on his outro, I don't fuck bitches anymore, but your bitch my exception. Get out of my 4-door. Wow. Can we talk about how sick that shit is?
Who was he talking
Imagine
to?
a gay or bisexual guy coming up to you and saying, yo, I don't fuck bitches, but I'm gonna fuck yours.
And now get out. Why was I
Now come get your chick out my 4-door.
I like that though, because it's kind of like, it's letting you know, like, I really don't like your girl, but I just know I can.
Yeah.
And I dislike you that much.
Yeah.
That's savage.
Like, a gay man is going to take your girl from
He
you.
said it so tenderly.
Yeah.
I was like, he definitely made love to her too.
Yeah, it wasn't an aggressive tone.
No, he took care of my bitch.
They love to her soul. Boy.
Listen, man. He talked to her, ran his fingers through her hair. Yo, I would have been sick.
But that's the skill of an R&B.
Fucking your girl.
Yeah, it's like they go like, that's the old R&B though. Like, this new R&B shit is like
Pink
way
saying-
too aggressive.
Pink is saying he doesn't fuck other people's girls.
No, I'm agreeing that, like, I definitely don't.
I know.
My girl's right here.
I'm aware. She already threatened you about the Harlem
She already, like-
comment off mic.
Yeah. She not playing with you.
No, but
He was a virgin when he met you.
exactly
100%.
Listen, you a guy's guy. I like
Listen,
that.
man. I'm
How
with you.
tough is it being in a relationship as an R&B? Okay, first of all, do you classify yourself as an R&B artist, or are you just an artist?
I feel like I sound cocky when I say it, but who cares? I'm a real artist. I don't know, like, and I'm a real creative, I'll say, because I didn't come into the game being an artist. I came into the game being a songwriter. So
Okay.
I don't really consider myself any genre. I feel like I just a rare person. Like, I can just make whatever I want to make. Like, Stevie Wonder is one of my favorites. He's not really a genre. Because he's black, he's in a genre. But if he was anybody else, he'd just be great.
And because he was signed to Motown.
You get it. Like,
But then what? Because Maul asked a question when we were off mic. Can an R&B record get popular and become a pop record?
it can.
And it has.
And it has happened. But it's key things that make something popular. And I think pop is just a general word for popular, obviously, we know. But sonically, historically, like, music lives within everybody. So that's why when you hear certain stuff, you might never heard a song that sound like it, but your grandpop did.
Yeah.
Your dad did. So it's like certain things that just naturally are easy listening.
But I think, like, with more like nerdy music people, they can tell the difference off fucking synths and certain notes of that's a pop structure record. It sounds like a pop record. And while that never really mattered before, now I feel like everything's algorithm-based, genre-based, playlist-based. So you do have to classify what your record is to get it to the demographic you want to get it to. Because we just talked about Blonde. Blonde is labeled a pop album on Apple Music right now.
Now, though,
I don't know what it was.
Do we know
at
the
the time.
history of when it came out? What was it called? That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to kind of prove yourself. Typically, as a black artist, you have to prove yourself to be popular. That's kind of weird to me.
But even then, it was
lie.
like, all right, we were talking about 50 earlier. Let's not even make it R&B. If Get Rich or Die Trying comes out in the streaming era, is it a hip-hop rap album and then we have to change it to a pop album because it became the biggest album of
There's nothing
the
about
decade?
that first album that would
Okay,
be
but
pop.
to me, there's nothing
50s
pop.
music is
Mass
pop.
relatability, though. Because, like,
Names one pop record on Blonde.
Well, I don't agree. I think it's just good. But see, it can be pop only because it was popular. But even then, what is really popular? That's like, I ain't gonna lie, like, Frank Ocean is a lot of people that don't know Frank Ocean.
For sure.
It's a difference. Now, mind you, I make music. I know of Frank Ocean. So I would say that he's popular. I didn't always know his music. But when I found his music, I'm like, oh, this is fire. But as a writer, I'm like, this doesn't appeal to everybody. Like, it just doesn't. Like, my little sister don't listen to Frank Ocean, but she listen to BTS. She listened to Olivia Rodrigo. Like, it's just certain things that is mass relatability. Where I think that's what really makes it pop.
But do you think that's, as someone that approaches things from an R&B perspective and a pop perspective, when you get down to the science of music, has that crippled or helped you when it came to getting your music out there and pitching it to DSPs and shit? Like, this is a pop artist because he's been on pop songs, yet most of his catalog would be classified as R&B.
That's a great question, bro. Honestly, I've been confused because I never felt like I was making traditional R&B.
Mm.
Like nobody ever said that to me until it was out.
Yeah.
Like, so I never think, I'm thinking like R&B. All right, cool. If that's what y'all gonna put me in. I know I'm like, obviously, like literally an older black lady walked up to me. It's like the first time I did a radio thing. And she walked up to me at almost like how my grandma would be. She's like, I thought you was white. That's literally, she said that in my ear. She literally said, she hugged me. She said, I love your music. She said, I want to say something. I honestly thought you was a white boy when I heard your voice and like the song. Cause it's not typical. Certain things are not typical. Like when my first song was Honesty. That's no beat.
Black men aren't honest.
You said
So
that.
Black History Month.
No, if we gonna do
Why
Black
did I look
History
at
Month,
you? Why did I look at you?
And then I got nervous.
no, if we gonna do Black History Month, we just
I
gonna
was
be
waiting
honest.
for him to co-sign it.
Black men ain't
He's like,
honest.
yeah. Like, that
So
would have been
if
funny.
she heard
No, it wouldn't
honesty,
have.
she was like, nah,
Well,
this ain't no black. This ain't no
for
black
not for
guy.
everybody outside of this room.
Yeah.
No, honesty is real though, because one, cliche wise and socially, we are programmed to think of everybody a certain way. Unless you're from certain places in the world, you're still affected by, and even then, you're still affected by perception, like what people say you're supposed to see. Because one, it's a natural mechanism to protect yourself, right? So it's like, all right, if someone's wearing a freaking trench coat in the summer, your brain's gonna say, I'm gonna go to a normal person.
Yeah.
I don't need to walk on his side of the street.
Something ain't right.
He's weird. It's
Yeah.
too hot. He's sweating. He got what's under the trench coat.
Yeah.
So I don't completely disagree with stereotypes because prejudice is a part of human nature. But I do think that if people didn't see me, I know I probably would have been way richer, and my music would have been way more heard. Even
Why you say that though?
because I feel like I see it happen every day. Like if a white artist comes out, all right, think about it like this. How do you usually find black music? It's the journey of discovery, right? It's like, oh, this person blew up or they had a moment on the internet already. So with no label, no nothing, Pink Sweats is making bags off of R&B. Nobody's getting independent money at that time, for real. Maybe Daniel Caesar and like Brent Fayez. That's like 3 people. I just jumped into that pile. Now you put me into a pile that says your cap is here. Whereas in the same time, Bazzi came out. I don't know how Bazzi came out. And I like Bazzi, actually. I know him. Good person. But I see the benefits of like the system.
For sure.
And when you're pop, that literally take the word away, your bag is different. Like, period. The pop bag versus like what you would say an R&B bag is, it's never comparable. Like, it's always like, dang, like you can go and do like, I'm R&B, but technically to the world, because I'm an international artist, people look at me still as R&B pop. So I can do brand deals literally in the world, like outside of America, and people like put his face on this or do that. But for a lot of R&B acts, that's hard to do because it's like a lot of the world doesn't co-sign American culture, drugs, sex, things. They're very protective of their societies. It's like, oh, we don't need to hear that. So that's why rap is not really international like that. It's very regional.
Yeah.
It's like 50 Cent's hot in America, and he's one of the people who actually got to go international. But that's not normal to be like, you know, in Germany, you got German rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
So the bag, that's what changes the game. The bag you get.
The pop bag is a lot different.
And a lot of white artists are able to be pop artists and then dabble into the R&B when it's beneficial to them, and then be able to go back to the pop bag when it's time.
100%.
And I won't say no names because I know it's your man, but Justin has maximized his life with the ability to stay a pop innocent guy and still go into R&B and do fuck shit.
But is it pop innocence? I'm not even defending him because I know him. I'm really think just it's kind of like the flip side of where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
They know that they grew up on R&B. They think that it's cool. They want to do it. But simultaneously, the industry is constantly pushing them. Oh, that's for them. You don't need to do that. This is where the money is.
I'm not particularly attacking Justin Bieber personally.
He
I'm
always
saying
was
this,
pop,
the
but think
system
about how
that
he came
Justin is in.
It was, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, see, I'm not saying Justin is the one that concocted an institution that's been around.
No. I'm just saying, like,
forever. But
for most white people, though, they adore the cultural things that we create. As far as black people, it's
For
like,
sure.
yo, rap is edgy, it's different, it's rebel. It's like, oh man, but you don't really want to be about that though. And to me, that's the problem when it's like you championing something that possibly is influencing the kids who look like that person.
yeah,
When you're in your suburban safe neighborhood talking about he's not that gangster.
yeah, of
It's
course.
like,
Those are the
man,
only people that are
fuck
saying
you.
it.
Like, who are you talking about? Like,
I mean, but all of this comes from black culture, right? Music is a black thing.
the creation.
Yeah.
I feel like because there's actually a study, I cannot remember the name of the book, but there's a guy, he correlates traumatic experiences to the ability to create. Because I guess the idea is that if you don't have a box confining you, what are you creating your way out of?
Yeah,
That's why a lot of people be like, oh, he's a poser. Like we see some like rich white kid who want to rap. It's like, that's what that idea comes from. It's because like, you ain't been through nothing. What do you really... Go get a regular job. You are privileged enough to do that. So I don't agree with it, but I think it plays to the human psyche where it's like, what are you creating your way out of? You know what I'm saying?
for sure. And even if you haven't been through traumatic experiences, that's why movies and music and are entertainment. It's entertaining to hear and watch traumatic experiences, especially if you didn't go through them. It's
That-
like
that
I
makes
can
it
sit,
more fun.
Yeah,
I can
you're
sit
right, you're
outside
right.
and
That makes
watch
it more
what
fun.
It's
seems
the wow
entertaining,
factor.
and then you're really sitting there like, no, this person actually this happened to them.
Yeah.
I
This isn't
agree.
entertainment.
But think about it. Culturally, people don't realize like, yo, this could be any person. It's not just that person.
Sure.
That, like, if 50 Cent's story is, yo, I got shot 9 times, that could be any kid in his borough.
Sure.
Grew up where he from. And I think like people don't really realize and make that connection that like, yo, like he's really kind of, he's not celebrating, he's just telling his story. But we're celebrating that he's been through all this trauma. And like, we hope
'cause
that
we
one day
relate.
he lands back there.
Yeah.
Low key, it's like, that's the good story. It's like, oh, he made it. Wonder when he'll fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wonder when he'll be back there.
Or
He won't be back there anytime.
no,
soon.
he
I'm saying.
definitely won't. But I'm saying like how people
Yeah.
think. They always hate to see you go up.
It's the
for
rise and the
sure.
fall, for
yeah,
sure.
they want you to fall.
well, because they feel like a part of it, whether they live that experience or not, they feel like a part of it in the beginning, and they feel attached to it because they were there in the beginning. Like it's the same thing. Once Jay started talking about too much money, people were like, well, I can't relate to this. And in my
Yeah.
head, I'm like, you also couldn't relate to
couldn't
him
relate to
selling
him
drugs
doing
neither.
neither.
You just like that talk better because money is something you can actually attain and you feel insecure about it.
Yeah.
The drug dealing thing you knew you couldn't do, so you don't mind just listening to it as entertainment. But that's I feel like, do you think that's just a rap specific thing? Because R&B artists, I think R&B has definitely shifted out of solely being about love.
R&B is about
R&B
everything.
is
but
Can
love.
R&B
corny.
artists become unrelatable?
No, it's corny right now because I'm gonna say this. It's not dead. I used to say that back like when I first started. I'm like, oh, R&B is kind of dead. It's like it's
I
not
don't
dead.
think it
There's
is.
so many people that make
it's in a good space.
quality R&B, like people that we know and people that we don't know. I just think pop culture wise, singers always made the vibes, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's just always like everybody's favorite rapper listens and learned from a motherfucker that was singing. Like, but now it's like we as a whole, not me, but like we as a whole in R&B, everybody's mimicking rap now, which is kind of like is some good songs come out of it, but for the whole part, it's kind of like, well, where are the creators? Where are the people that's going to start the next wave and influence the rappers? Like Drake is Drake because he embraces that piece of like, yo, I really like R&B. Like he probably put on like, it's not that many huge R&B artists, but out of like 4 male singers, if there even are 4 big males R&B singers, he probably put on 2. Like he's just that guy. He's plugged in to the point where he knows my ability to create people who can sing and give them a space, some kind of way always gonna connect back to me. Cause when somebody look at them, they gonna be like, oh yeah, Drake co-signed Bull. Like he official because he know music. Most rappers don't even know music.
It's almost impossible, I think, for rappers to be successful and not like R&B.
I completely agree with
I
you.
think all of us grew up in a household where that's what we heard. That was like our
100%.
introduction to music, gospel and R&B.
Every sample that we love on every rap record
Right.
is an R&B
They
record.
done wore the 90s out. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to the people getting their money, but I'm sick of hearing the same samples.
Oh no, listen,
like-
I can't stand that shit.
Do something else.
But you understand why. That's
they even
probably
stopped
the
adding
greatest
extra
era
drums
of
to it.
music.
It's just the
though.
same beat.
But it's,
It's the same shit.
it's probably the best era music-wise, the 90s. I think we
It's
got some of the
subjective.
best music that we've ever gotten.
Subjective.
in the
Yeah,
90s.
I think that's subjective.
It's-
You could
it's
make a good
definitely
case.
subjective.
All
It ain't,
around.
it ain't the early 2000s. We know that.
No, I mean I love the early 2000s. I wouldn't put it number one.
Definitely not number one.
But like if you get into the 70s from an R&B
70s
perspective,
is crazy.
But if you're saying all music in general with the 90s between rap
and
R&B, alternative, everything, maybe you could make
It's the greatest
a
era
case.
of music.
I don't know about the greatest era. I think it was just monumental moment. Sound wise, things started to really change and be accessible for like producers to make certain textures and like I think it was just monumental. But when I listen to Stevie Wonder, I'm like, man, y'all got me chopped. Like you not touching Stevie Wonder,
So
But
he's
even
the, he's
now,
the
I
guy
feel like
for
the
you.
80s is probably the most
bro.
taken from right now as far as sounds and electronic
the
shit
synth sound, yeah.
is definitely 80s shit.
And gospel, because a lot of people didn't grow up in church. I did. Mad singers
Peace be with you.
coming out of church, bro, and they really was just bringing the church to the stage.
Right.
Like I even kind of do that sometimes, where it's like when you singing and like riffing and stuff, that's church. Like so, it's like when people like, oh, he can sing, she can sing. You really bow like it's a whole vibe. You just taking it from this space and saying, I'm gonna put it here and I'm gonna put a little twist on it. But like, bro, like mad singers looked up to gospel artists.
Or
like,
started there too.
like Whitney Houston, her favorite artist was like the Winans. They're like a gospel royalty. So like when you think about that era, it was a vibe. Like gospel was everything. And gospel, the one thing I'm gonna shout out gospel, everybody, because gospel not really a genre. When you get into it, it's everything. Like they got gospel songs that sound like rock songs. They got gospel songs that sound like country songs. Gospel songs that sound like whatever you think gospel is. It's everything. And I feel like that's
Well,
why.
that's because God is everywhere.
Wow, you deep.
Yeah.
he just dropped the bar. He said, why he did it like he
God is-
meditated
God
this
is good.
morning too.
All the time.
So God
All the
is
time.
everywhere.
All the
He's
time.
everywhere.
Yo, look to your neighbor.
All
Say
around
hey,
us.
say hey, neighbor.
That was always awkward.
Every
Yeah,
time.
like,
I don't know this nigga, man. Looking at him in his eyes, talking about.
In white churches, we had to shake hands. It was even nastier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was pre-COVID.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
sure.
that was too much.
And no, well, that was the least the
Shake your
handsiness that
neighbor.
happened here. The peace be with you handshake was like, oh, thank God, some consensual shit above the waist. But speaking of gospel shit, the first time I saw you perform live was at Made in America, 2018, 17, I forgot when it was. And I knew you had played instruments, but I didn't know you did it part of your live show. You go from singing to go play the drums. And honestly, the first thing I thought when you got on the drums was, oh, he grew up in the church.
Yup.
He drums like he was in the church band. And I mean that in a good way, because the drummer at church is always like,
vibe.
he should be in a band, like now on stage.
You could tell he's being held back.
Word.
He really wants to let
Yeah.
loose.
Yeah, the Lord should let him go.
Yeah, he wants to let loose up there. Yeah.
Someone pay his tithe to
It's
get
the
to the
same
studio.
snare, same snare on every song. He's sitting there like, oh my God, I want to have a solo so bad right now.
My brother used to hate that. My brother played keys and I played the drums. And like when I start snapping, he'd be like, this is him, like his head's this way. And he goes,
He want to get off. He really
Yeah.
can't.
like,
Yeah.
that's like a church thing. Like
Tone it
keyboard
down a
players
little bit.
always sunning the brother, like the drummer. But funny thing, my brother's younger, so it's kind of like I'm getting sunned by my younger brother because he
yeah.
playing the keys. And he like,
Was you were you ever nervous, like before you got into like the crazy part of the record? You could really see the first front row catching the Holy Ghost, and you could see the tears coming down. Their eyes is closed. Did you ever just want to start
that
going
freaked
nuts
me out
and
to this
fucking
day, honestly.
fuck up their religious experience?
Nah, like what I'll do is I always try to amp people up. That was my thing. I'm like,
yeah.
all the drummers out there,
That's
they
the
all
same.
know what
That's
that
the
is.
same. Yeah, that right
Yeah.
there. That just
You
made
hit
it time
that-
for more money. They start
No,
sending the
exactly.
plates around. They start-
Yeah.
I wanted to amp people up.
Pastor was like, the Lord is telling me there's $20 more out there. Hey, yo, Pink.
the Lord telling me $20.50 to be exact.
Listen, you know how sick that was? Because after I went to Catholic church, when I went to
Did y'all
college.
take tithes at Catholic church?
Of course,
Did y'all
yeah.
They
send-
got dues, don't you?
Yeah, and we just put it in an envelope. No, they come around with the bread basket,
Yeah.
and they be leaning over, Like
making sure they get all
Yo,
of
black
it.
churches do this thing. You be like, yo, let me get change. Like you got a 20.
Asking for change at church. Yo, you know how crazy that is? Yo, can I get some change? What?
Yeah,
Yeah, church.
I need
That's
change.
for the Lord.
You got,
Just
you
give
got
it
the
to
20
him.
in your hand.
So
you got
my-
the 20 like, let me get 10 back.
Yeah.
You're like,
He go in his own pocket again. Let me see what I got.
my church used to send. They would mail envelopes like for each
oh, y'all
week.
wow.
This is all Catholic churches where like they would put the week and then you put the money in and bring it to church. My mother would throw that envelope out and in the middle of church say, "No, you don't know how much money I gave you. Everyone's gonna see. I'm not hiding this in this envelope."
No. You can't. You
It's
gotta
a
let them
social
know.
thing, though. You know what I mean? You want to feel, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
You're giving.
And I went to a bunch of different denominations in Christianity after I left high school just because I was curious about religion. I'd been in weird Catholic shit for a while. And when that pastor used to say, "The Lord is telling me there's another $20 in there," mind you, I've been begging for 19 years for the Lord to say anything to me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's just telling this dude there's $20 in the crowd.
He just,
I've been begging for a sign forever.
You're not listening.
Meanwhile, he's texting the Lord like, "Yo, the person in the back row,
You got
that's
a dub.
$20.
You got a dub for you, for sure. For sure.
yo, the way you just said that, I can see like your young self being so lost.
Fair. I was in Newark, New Jersey, like, what the fuck? Talk to me, Lord. I'm
Yeah.
right next to him.
I can relate though. I ain't gonna lie. When they talk about money, I'm like, well, God ain't telling you I need $20.
Was your family super religious?
Oh yeah, they deep. Like they super deep. Like my whole family's pastors.
You still go to
and
church?
stuff. Not right now. I'm really not into church. Not because of anything, but just because of my
COVID.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I
COVID's the
can't, like,
excuse for everything.
Fine. No,
Just say
for real.
COVID.
I actually just seen my pastor yesterday. Well, I was at my cousin's basketball game. Like, I'm still cool with people, but it's like just schedule wise, I like to kind of be consistent because nowadays the way church is kind of like school, low key. Like they be like, all right, this month the message is about being a good person. So
And
if I miss 1 week, I
know
gotta
what's
play
going
catch
on.
up.
Yeah, God don't love you if you miss a week.
Especially when you're being a shitty person.
Yeah, it's like, yo, you funny as hell.
So looking at your style, and listening to your music, it was one artist that I always think about is CeeLo.
Oh, CeeLo. Yeah, CeeLo, to me, he pop. Cause his music
CeeLo's
was
gospel. He's a lot.
mass appeal.
He's
I mean,
hip hop. He's hip hop too.
Well, I mean, but
Very
see,
much so.
when I say
That's how we met him.
pop, when I'm using the word pop, I mean just popular sound. Like,
Oh yeah.
whatever he does, he's figured out a formula to make it palatable
Yeah.
in the perfect way.
Because Gnarls Bark, that's weird because CeeLo's hip hop and Danger Mouse to me is hip hop. Also electronic, blends
Yeah.
in a lot of genres, but
Is that
Gnarls
right?
Barkley
Ooh.
is a pop act to me.
Yeah.
They make pop music.
Yeah, CeeLo's very good at like adapting. Like that's
Yeah.
something that I noticed with his career. Like at least when I was like super fan, he was definitely good at blending, and I feel like that's a good sign for artists to like know when you can be a true creative doesn't have a box, and most people in the industry are not as creative as people think they are. They just
course.
artists.
Yeah.
And there's no diss to artists because that's still an ecosystem there. But I think it needs to be a special space for the raw creative people who are like, I'm a sponge. Like if I sit with this person, I will absorb everything and I'll be able to do that better than them. Like this. But some people it's like algebra. Like I don't know algebra. I went to a hood school. We didn't learn that. They was fighting.
Yeah.
So I missed that.
They was fighting
But
during
if you
algebra.
ask me
No child left behind
to
program.
figure something out in life, I'm gonna figure it out. Like I'm like, oh, how do I get from here to here? I'm gonna figure it out because that's just how my brain works. But with algebra, I'm like,
Because that's more of a structure than it is a feeling.
exactly.
And I think you're probably more passionate about music than you are with solving for X. But
yeah,
no, a lot of artists are
solving.
Listen, I can't do my own taxes, but I know how to solve for X and do long division. A lot of artists are just news anchors. They're just good at delivering shit. Like, here you go. Here's the script. Here's the video behind you. You look good and you can talk really well and you can deliver this sentence better than the person that wrote it. So here you go. And then they get all the credit as if this news anchor is the leader of our country.
But it's
Person represents everybody.
Yeah, it's like, wait, the fuck?
But that's because
He's good at
it's
reading.
Just weird now. You almost, it's tough if you're an artist now that doesn't want to chase the current sound and what's going on. If you want to rebel and
It seems easy to me. I'm getting
Yeah.
I'm living.
no, I mean, absolutely, I get what you mean, but it's still like, you know, when artists come in the game now, they expect them to kind of just fall in line and follow suit of what's going on.
I'll say the industry makes everything harder because the industry is like, it's like we just talking about algebra. It's a system. So like being a creative person, you fight your whole life trying to like make your own way. Then let's just say you get lucky by chance, you make your own way.
Yeah.
The world chooses you. Spotify says the numbers are saying people like you. Then you go to a label and it's like, welcome to our system.
Yeah.
We have a box for you now.
Exactly.
You're no longer this free spirit. We're going to box you up and lock it, and we'll visit you and tell you what you should be doing. It's weird.
And not cater it to you or tailor it to you. Like, hey, this system worked for Cardi B, so it's definitely going to work for Pink Sweats. And it's like, wait, hold on.
We different people, different scenarios.
You're just going off what's worked the best for you, and every single artist is
And I
completely
can't
different.
punch you in the face if you're wrong. To me, that's weird.
That you can't hit somebody.
That's a bar, though.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, in real life, it's tough already. Like, the statistics on making it as an artist is crazy. Like, I think nobody should do this shit. Like,
Yeah.
for real. Like, not
Nobody
as a,
chase your dreams.
No, it's not about dreams. I think a lot of artists, we not transparent. Like, it's really hard. And I feel like for people, like, if you watching this right now, if you question yourself to an unhealthy level when you're always like asking people their opinions, you probably ain't built for this, because 9 times out of 10, by the time you get where you going, you lost yourself.
For sure.
Like, somebody's running you. Like, you might start getting the money, but you'll never feel fulfilled, which is
yourself.
what every creative wants. You want a fulfillment. Now, money is dope, but like, if I got $1 billion, yeah, I can literally be like, oh yeah, I'm good. But I know what it feels like to get money you never thought you would get and be like, I'm not doing what I want to do though.
Exactly.
What's the point of having all that?
There's no fulfillment in it.
Yeah, I need that fulfillment. I feel like a lot of people, we as a society, man, it's sad because everybody thinks that music is their dream. And the sad part is probably because of rap, because they see some kid tell you on an interview 30 times, I'm not really no rapper.
Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course.
no rapper, but you're rapping. I've been a millionaire in the streets.
Then why did you
All right,
start
so
rapping?
why'd you start rapping? Why? Because to be an artist is low key kind of like very vulnerable. You're going to go up there and people can possibly not like you.
Yes.
As a street person, I would think you wouldn't want to do that. I'm a square. I barely sometimes want to do it. So as a person who used to apparently shooting people and getting away with crimes, I don't think I could, if I was in that life, I don't think I could take rejections at that level. So why do that?
I think the risk is actually probably across the board the same as far as criminals being successful and not being harmed or going to jail is the same way an artist not becoming broke and mentally ill by the disappointment. I think it's the same
It's
risk
kind of
across
the
the board.
same, but I think people in art, like, man, this era is crazy. People don't desire balance. They just want what they want. Like, I made a lot of money and I still was playing drums at church.
Yeah.
Cause I wasn't realizing like, oh, I got bread. I'm just showing up to whatever side jobs I was doing. I was still doing them because in my head, I just love creating.
Yeah.
So as long as I can have the balance, I'm surviving. Like, my soul is fulfilled, everything. But now everybody just like, well, I don't want to work a job because that's going to kill it's like, so you want to be poor? You want to have no money? Just go work at McDonald's. They paying like $20 an hour right now. I'm like, when they get to 30, I'm getting a job.
Yeah.
Like, I need an
that's a perception
insurance
thing too, especially artists. Well, especially the fake artists that just want to do it because it's profitable. They can't be seen working at McDonald's when they're trying to front like they're this person.
Yeah. You
So-
got to feel it, but that builds creativity. All of that stuff. Like,
But
I
these
remember
people aren't creative. The ones that we're talking about, the ones that are just doing it because it's
for the bag, yeah. Which is no diss. Get your money. But my thing is, those people end up being the ones who have the most influence a lot of times because it looks fun. It's like, man, he said he's not even a rapper. He's doing it. Like, I can do it too.
That's Maul and Hove's fault, but that's his whole family's
I have
fault.
nothing
To be
do with
quite
that.
honest,
How many of these artists now that you see?
I'm a hustler. Just so happens I know how to rap.
Nah,
we
Jay-
let
Hov get that off.
Yo, no, but Hov really was about his craft.
That was
though.
fine because Hov was at that time one of the greatest rappers already.
Yeah, but he was about it though.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't really trying to be in the streets for real
no,
no
for
more.
sure.
It's like, no, I'm about to be the best at this. Like a lot of people be just like, they not really trying to be the best rapper. They just trying to get the most money, which is, if that's your mentality, that's dope. But like I said, they end up being the most influential
Yeah.
because the appeal is fire. Like even me, sometimes I'll be like, dang, like I'm not really no singer. Like if that's what it takes for people to be like, I can do that too, then I feel like I should say that too then.
I think that's kind of the yin and yang with like flooding the block with bullshit. Because you could look at it this way. It becomes way harder when everyone is trying to do the same thing to get through the fucking mess. But if you're actually unique and different, I feel like it kind of catapults you. Like, listen, whatever your actual opinion on Giveon is,
What is your opinion on Giveon?
Well,
I feel like, one, I think he can sing. I like his voice. It's unique. But I also think that we will never know how dope someone is really when they've been co-signed by the crate. We really don't know. We don't know if we would have chose this voice or this artist if we stumbled upon them. We don't know. It's hard. It's hard to tell. Cause I know I'm brainwashed. If Drake said it, I'ma listen to it and I'm already keen to like it.
Yeah.
Like even if I
for
really
sure.
don't.
But a lot of times, and even with, I think the industry plant shit, and I'm not saying Giveon is or is not one, gets misconstrued because why I think like Giveon musically, and I think he would admit this too, hasn't done anything unique, but his voice and his writing is unique. So he stands out amongst the people doing those same synths and those same sad whisper R&B type of beats. And he's not whispering on them. He has a unique voice. He's saying something that we can relate to. So that's, to me, why he shined so quickly, was because he was working in a sea of artists that aren't really artists trying to do the exact same sound. He just did it better. Like
All that stuff you just said sounded really nice.
Okay.
But you skipping over Drake. Like it's Drake. Bro.
you think, but you think,
He going straight to that.
but
Like,
you
no,
think
that's what it
Giveon,
is.
you think Giveon got the Drake stimulus plan in that regard? Because I don't think that everyone thought that was Sanford. Everyone's like, oh, thank God Drake is back with Sanford.
Exactly.
And it was a Drake freestyle that he didn't even put much behind. It was a great freestyle and a great record, and it was a moment, as any Drake song is. But
if you think
wasn't
it's
that
someone else
crazy.
that he already put on, you're already giving it a chance. This
Oh, for
my
sure.
thing is about attention in this business because that's what it really is. It's about attention. This is a big ups to Drake, and it's not a diss to Giveon, but it's just a perspective. I think that genuinely, it's easy to cultivate a listening audience when someone that big who has a record of stamping people, he stamps you. So we really don't have a clear view of an artist. We don't even know. We don't know.
that's where I actually completely disagree, because there's more pressure. And
Yeah,
I
he
can-
could
I
have
know.
been a trash.
We're not talking about pressure.
But I
We
can
just
totally
saying-
understand. I can totally understand, because I'm similar to you in career-wise of like, maybe you don't get the crazy cosign. You literally have to do everything on your own to get through. You didn't know nobody. You just had to do the shit on your own. And then you see someone get a look by the biggest artist in the world, and you're like, all right, man. Like that.
who I definitely want to look from. Holla at me,
Exactly.
Drake.
But we've seen what's going up on the Tuesdays. What's old boy's name?
McConan?
And I don't want to shit on McConan or anything, but I do want to make the example that people have gotten the Drake stimulus plan on a huge record, but could not follow up. So
Did
it
he
did not
follow up,
matter.
though? That's what I'm saying. What album has he
but
dropped?
that's what I'm saying. So yes, Migos got the Versace look. Granted, Migos was popping in a certain other,
yeah.
but they got the Versace stimulus plan and went crazy. But then they had Fight Night, and then they had
But
Culture
that's
One.
what
Then
I'm
they had-
saying. We don't
and Giveon
know.
then went after that to Heartbreak Anniversary. It was like,
No,
oh, this is
you
a
can't say
real
after,
artist.
You can't say after that because that was kind of in the same window.
Yeah,
He was
same
just
around time.
prepared. Shout out to him because when you're not prepared for your opportunity, you miss it. He was
Sure.
prepared, and if he wasn't, he got prepared real fast. And that catapults the situation. And I think
agree.
that we really don't know. And that's what any artist, that's me, that's anybody. I've even looked at myself like that. I had Honesty, that's one song. I'm like Drake say, do it again. Then I had a bigger song. So I'm just trying to keep leveling up. But mind you, I don't have that cosign.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think it will make sense for how I write, the kind of music I make. So it's a whole thing there. But when it comes to R&B, I think the biggest win and disadvantage is that it seems as though to get to a Giveon level is that someone that's not a singer has to co-sign you. That's weird to me.
But R&B cosigns aren't really a thing. Do you think?
Why though? They should be. I should be standing next. I should be standing next.
That's an
to
interesting
someone.
combo.
Anybody. That's what I'm saying. Like when you look at rap, shout out to like, even though I make jokes and like I say like, oh, everybody's a gangster. Like I'm not no gangster. I don't prescribe to that. I don't really listen to that kind of music. But when I do, it's turn up time. It's lit. But I also am aware that it's kids from where I'm from who think just like how I was thinking. The person you see right here, I wanted to be a shooter. Like I held my first gun when I was 5. Some stupid dude came on the block showing off his gun.
Should have been in church.
Look at this. And it's like, I should have been in church. But I'm saying like the environment you're in can like drastically affect your mentality. So when I was that young, I think about kids like that because I made it out. A lot of kids not gonna make it out. So they're gonna hear this rap stuff and subconsciously it's telling them, well, if he did it, I can do it. So all I gotta do is sell drugs because I gotta get validity. I don't want people to think I'm not cool. So even if I'm not hard, I gotta at least pretend for some point to get the validity, and then follow that track. So with R&B, back to that point, what I think is you could co-sign anybody. As long as you got some sort of platform, I feel like it's your duty at this phase in the game. You gotta do it. Like the rappers are just running circles around everybody, even the pop artists. They run in circles because when they come on, this my young boy, this my little brother. They don't even matter how good that person is. They don't care. They standing next to that person so that they can create an economy in their system. And then you get to 10 years later, you got whole squads. You got Young Thug, you got Gunna, you got people like Lil Baby, Migo. Everybody just, when you put out an album, we promoting it. Yeah. I don't care if you sign to me. You my mans. We from the same city, same area, whatever their connection is. R&B ain't like that. When I dropped my project just recently, Giveon didn't post it. Khalid didn't post it. Like Brent Fayez. Mind you, I don't know these people, and I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying the energy is different.
It's different than rap.
It's so different. It's like I don't have to listen to Brent Fayez music, even though I do. If he's R&B at the point where I'm at in my mind, I'm posting you, bro. I don't care as long as I know the project came out. If I don't know, I don't know, and maybe that could be the case for a lot of people. But we don't support each other. And like I was talking to somebody. He's an OG, and he was like, "What y'all scared? Somebody about to take y'all bitches or something? Like, why y'all don't collab and why y'all like everybody act cool in R&B, but most people ain't cool. Like I'm really just me."
Can I give you an outside perspective as someone that's hung out with rappers and R&B artists? I know my IG thought, but as someone that's hung out with both for a while, rappers are social creatures. Rappers are phony. Rappers are opportunists. Real R&B artists, like the people that you just named, and I mean this as a compliment, y'all are fucking weirdos. Y'all stick to yourselves. Y'all have no interest in other people. You're within your inner circle. You do not care to go out. Your music doesn't play the way rap does in those social circles where y'all are all trying to, and not him, but I'm just saying R&B artists, trying to fuck a bunch of chicks. Like that's where rappers hang. And that's where that camaraderie, that fake camaraderie starts. And it's much easier for a rapper to email someone with a blank 16 and be like, yo, put on this, and now we're friends. You are not saying with a blank 16, Brent, put a verse on this. No, y'all need to get together. Honestly, I know you, but I'm saying y'all. I know both of y'all would have to get in the studio, and you guys both are creative geniuses in your own right. And it's way different than saying, yo, Gunna, I need a verse from you. And I could DM you on IG. I mean, it's different genres as far as sociability goes, if that's even a word.
That you just brought me to a point that I kind of always talk about behind the scenes, where it's like a lot of R&B people, they too creative. They not thinking about their bag. It's like,
of course,
at the end of the day, if you're real creative, you done been through the struggle. You done proved to the society, to the world, to yourself, to God, whatever. I really love this music. So you don't have to prove that to nobody no more. You need to secure your bag because you made a bad decision by jumping into the music industry. There is no 401k.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You need
health insurance.
You need this. No health. Yeah, yo, that's real rap. No health insurance unless you're an actor like I am and you get SAG. But it's like you gotta break out of that BS mentality because one, you stay in an island. It's funny, I learned recently, not like forever all my life, but like the last 4 years I travel. When you go to islands, you talk to people, you realize, damn, this island beautiful than the motherfucker.
Yeah.
But let that ship not come in. That big ship that's bringing all the food and everything.
It's Fire Festival.
It get different. You know what I'm saying? So when you create yourself on the island, which a lot of R&B guys do, then what happens when that ship stop coming? When that label check stop coming? When that whatever system, because most R&B artists that are successful at that level, making millions, signed. You probably got a couple that aren't, and they're really doing well. Like shout out to Brent Fires, he's MD. But it's like when that ship stops, then you want to come. Yo, bro, let's work. No, I don't want to work with you now. You not it. You not hot.
But y'all seek out, and I think it's a good thing, seek out producers and musicians behind the scenes more than you do acts. Like, of course we do like the duet, and of course we do like when R&B artists collaborate, but too much of that would be weird in R&B. Like for example, Meek's last album, and I always say good things about Meek as far as he always fucks with the young kids right away.
Yeah,
He's always dope with that. So his albums are full of young kids, which is great.
You fuck with Meek?
I don't know.
He's from
Meek,
Philly,
though.
so
from the same
he's got.
place.
Funny
He has to say yes.
I lived in North Philly.
So y'all didn't know each other growing up?
I'm not a street nigga. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you ain't got to be a street, but you grew up on the same.
Yeah,
in the same
but this
areas.
This the thing people gotta understand. Most people in any hood are not involved in no shit. Like most people is like me. You probably aspired it at one point. Nah, this shit ain't for me, nigga. I'm going. I'll figure something else out.
I'm going to church.
So that's why, like, I don't know Meek. We don't know nobody that know each other because none of my people was in the street. We all nerd niggas. Like, we like music. Somebody like math. Like, we don't know. So, like, if I see him, he probably would feel uncomfortable. He'd be like, yo, this nigga like a narc. Like, if I do so,
First of all, if a
nothing
narc
about
is
you
wearing a
says a
yellow
narc.
cardigan
Yeah.
and pink pants, he's,
I
listen.
would be in jail.
but listen, you gotta think, I'm my age bracket, his age
you would
bracket.
sell the pink?
Yes, absolutely.
You would?
If you walked up to me and needed something, yeah, I'm not thinking this. If cops is dressing like this, they got it, bro.
No, I'm just saying, like,
He looked like he wants some coke.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I will get rich with a dude dressed like this. Are you kidding me?
I'm just
He gonna
saying.
introduce me to everybody.
I feel like whenever I was around street dudes,
Yeah.
it usually was in a studio setting. They was comfortable with me, but it's just communication is different because we don't really speak the same language. Like we can say in the same words, but it's like whatever you saying, I don't know if we on the same page. Like,
But I would think that being from Philly and being an artist, being a creative, because creatives speak the same language. No matter what you're
but
creating.
I don't know if he's a creative. I don't know him. That's what I'm saying. I actually don't know him. I would like to know him. I think he's like in Philly. It's only like 3 popping artists in Philly on the rap scene. So he's one of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I would like to know him. He has a lot of influence on the youth and stuff like that. People don't even know I'm from Philly because I don't give a Philly persona.
Well, you say bowl every other sentence, so.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when I'm in Philly,
What does that even mean?
people
though?
literally be like, "Yo,
Where does that
you
derive
from
from?
Philly?" I'm like, "Yeah," because nobody would expect that. And like I know like P&B Rock. I know P&B Rock because they used to be wilding on the block that I used to work on. So it's like
Allegedly.
we had no, I said it wilding. You could interpret wilding however you want.
So do
See,
the
I'm
police.
from the hood, so you see my lingo. It's, you know what I mean?
You know what to not say.
Yeah,
I got
like,
it. I'm
you know
picking
what I
it
mean?
up.
But I
Yeah.
definitely know him. You know what I'm saying? We worked together, and you know I've kind of seen his come up.
So you just stick to your.
Yeah, I'm not involved in nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That was such a New York perspective of other cities that you
What?
just think every city is so small that like, oh, they probably grew up on the same street.
No, funny enough, I lived in North Philly. North Philly's small, bro.
I've been in North Philly.
I should technically
at
know
Temple, don't get it
people that
twisted,
know
but-
him or something, but I
That's
really
why
don't.
I asked, because coming up, and if somebody
Maybe like one of
makes
my
it-
old heads probably know him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody that makes it
Yeah,
out of the hood. It's like, yeah, but you know, he
Let's
from there, he
connect
doing
and
his
have- yeah.
thing. Like,
You
yeah,
know someone I
y'all
know,
should do
yeah,
a
of course.
record. Like, y'all both lit. Like,
I think you and Meek would make great music
I
together.
think we make a crazy record.
I
Especially,
definitely say that.
like that'd be fire, and for the city. I mean, I know he on his criminal reform, and it's like I've
I
never
would
been a
rather-
criminal, so it's kind of like if we link together, that's a great.
He's a
look.
criminal. You're reform. It's perfect.
You gotta be. You had to have been a criminal to be. I'm just saying the look of it is like
you wouldn't
then-
expect it.
like publicly you see two sides. Like I
sure.
I actually know a lot more rich white people that he knows that than black people. Like I don't know anybody from my hood that we know each other. But I know like some of the rich
I just think it
people.
works because it gives Philly that look. It's like you can
Two
still be
sides of
from
a
the
coin.
you can still be from the same neighborhood and be
And
like
wear
pink
pink
sweats.
pants.
Exactly.
But-
and a
Exactly.
cardigan
Yeah.
Philly, as much as we
from Italy.
always champion it as like
Yeah, throw that
as like
in there,
the
get that,
yeah, right?
yeah.
as like the rapper city. Philly is an R&B ass city.
It
Absolutely.
100%
Like an
is.
R&B ass city.
Absolutely.
Facts. Gamble and Huff. Shout out to them. The OGs. They've been.
Yeah. And I mean, have you met Jill Scott yet?
I did one time, but I was not notable.
Okay.
She looks beautiful in real life. Like
For sure.
I don't see her on the internet, but I was saying like I was definitely like, oh wow, this is what stars look like. Like they got different skincare routines.
Oh no, money will keep you looking great.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you use?
And even like, I mean, despite everything on the internet the past 2 years, Jaguar Wright, incredible singer from Philly. Like Philly has a lot of R&B roots that
Who'd you just say?
Jaguar Wright.
I'm not familiar, honestly.
Maul hired her to
Yo,
sing Song
you
Cry
gotta stop
on
saying-
the Unplugged.
You gotta stop throwing me.
She
in the
sung
middle
with the
of shit,
Roots.
man.
And,
Why he just pointed to you like that
He
though?
just throw me in the middle of
said,
bullshit
"Oh,
all the
Maul."
time. Yeah,
Maul,
like nah,
Maul
man.
is big from
Jasmine
Rockefellers.
Sullivan,
Of course,
Philly.
for sure.
Yeah,
I know
another Philly
Jasmine
one.
Sullivan. Never worked with her, not yet.
Did your girl keep you off hotels?
What's that? Oh, yo, you stupid. I was like, what's that? Hotel.
You saw how quick
She said, "Nah, he can't be on that album."
Our musical brands don't align for sure.
You think so?
No, like not content wise,
Okay.
like voice wise, she's way above me.
Yeah, but I think that's a good.
Jasmine's incredible.
She's insane.
She's
But with
incredible.
Jasmine, that's going to be kind of any feature for the most part she does.
Does
It's
she
hard.
do
I don't-
features though? That's what I'm saying. How many features has she really done?
Well, Ari definitely kept up with her on Hotels. Who else was on Hotels? Her
Yeah,
was
but
on
those
there.
are they're
But
on
hers
her
a different
album.
octave too.
I'm saying like she don't really do features
True.
like for other people.
She got a record with Ross right now on his album.
That's
She
one.
just did the hook.
Let's keep going. What's the number? 1,
She did Wale's first album
2.
in 2009.
Yeah, the first one. The first
That's what I'm saying. Like she's a very purist kind of
For
artist.
sure.
Like, and I
she
respect
took a break.
that about her.
She took a break too, I feel like.
And she's super slept on as far as pop culture.
I just vocally, period.
Incredible. Like I feel like when I hear people like that, I just like, why don't people just
Why is she not a bigger artist?
Yeah, like everybody should know this person.
Absolutely.
Like, period. She should be a household name.
Absolutely.
agree.
Like it should be a thing.
But that kind of goes back to our first conversation of certain artists being able to be R&B, going to pop, come back to R&B, or pop artists trying to dabble in R&B and not being pop. Jasmine doesn't have the American pop appeal.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately,
can see
that's just
that.
the
But
bullshit.
hopefully
of it,
this
but-
next album, I feel like R&B is starting to. Shout out to all the ladies. The guys, we doing all right. We doing our thing, but
Oh no, they smoking.
the
yo.
lady as a whole,
they smoking, yo.
bodying.
we need an
No, it's
R&B
smoking.
R&B groups. What happened to R&B groups?
But no, when I was just
But-
saying
but
why
I'm
we
saying-
don't collaborate, you
But
don't even need a
imagine
group.
because we got
Not in
the
the LSG type of way. Not where it's like three solo artists doing the album.
No,
I'm talking
no.
about like
You
the
talking about
first
TGT?
the first time we see like this group is like, okay, they're a group. We don't know any of them individually. There's no more of that in R&B.
One Direction.
It's too expensive.
Come on,
It is too expensive.
It's too expensive. Groups are expensive, and men are hard to deal with. Like women, they always say like, "Oh, women are hard to deal with. They got their hair and their makeup." Yeah, that's a form of difficult. But men, ego.
I'm
I'm
about
gonna
to say
fight you.
that ego is
Like,
but even though,
expensive.
but
Niggas be like, "Yo, I said like I know groups be fighting." Like, niggas-
that happens, right? But I don't think we've ever not had any.
yeah, that is true. I
Like-
think Boys to Men was.
Fam, that was 30 years ago.
But look, I'm about to say they was the most
And Philly.
pop mass appeal. group, black group at least. They had the most. I feel like they shaped the industry so crazy for like, like Justin Timberlake and NSYNC and Backstreet. They made that possible because them labels was like, oh, them boys from Philly, they ain't have nothing. Imagine we pump some money into these dudes, send them to Europe. Boys and Men started in Philly, went to the world. They took all these white people, put them together, sent them
to prom,
sent them to Europe or something like that. That costs resources. That's money. So to me, it's like they kind of showed their hand, where it's like, this is what we can do. And then the white people said, hey, y'all want to be a group? We finna blow y'all up even bigger and better.
But I mean, I get that. I feel like they just took New Edition and Boyz II Men and kind of put them together, because Boyz II Men was like true straight R&B, where New Edition did pop and R&B, and then they were like, all right, let's take both of these and try to create NSYNC.
But if you talk, it's crazy because if you talk to those guys, I feel like they would always feel slighted, because it's like you see that somebody else can come and do exactly what you do, and in your perspective, especially from where they come, you coming out of churches. Nobody sings better than people out of church.
100%.
Period.
Without question.
Like, I'm the worst singer in my whole family. Like, that's how bad it is. I'm trash. Like, my family can sing, bro. So I'm like, when you come from there and you see somebody make it not nearly as talented as you, and you're like, dang, they got double, quadruple the money.
Yeah.
XYZ. It can make you a little bit like, damn, man.
And I'm glad you said that, because I feel like there is more longevity for the come up from an artist if you do have regular jobs and shit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, I can't go get a regular job. I got this window for 2 years. By the time of 2 years, I'm gonna make it. Not realizing it's gonna take longer than that. And you can sustain your come up if you do have a job. Like, you can give yourself 10 years comfortably, if need be, to make it, rather than 2 years and it's like, well, I am dead broke and I really need to get a job now.
But now it's hard, because then you got 10 years of no work experience. That's the thing people don't think about. It's like,
I'm saying, if you have a
but I'm saying when
job,
they don't get a job or some sort of gig, you really gotta be believing in yourself.
And now you got face tattoos and a lean addiction. It's fucking
it's tough.
Crazy.
Now you're ready to be a rapper at that point.
Well, I've said plenty of times, I feel for the kids trying to become rappers, because you could pretend to be a gangster rapper in the 90s and early 2000s, and then, if the shit didn't work out, you could take the bag of jeans off and go get a FedEx job. But now to make it as a rapper, you got to become an actual drug addict. You have to tattoo your entire face. You can never shampoo your hair. And it's like, if it don't work out for rap, there's really nothing else for you.
And you got to diss everybody around you. So you got
to kill somebody.
Yo,
that's how they own it now.
That's not a good plan.
Listen,
you gotta really kill somebody now in rap.
Listen, come to the R&B side. Listen, you can wear expensive cardigans, nice pants. These are tailored. Eat at safe restaurants. People don't stop. I never get stopped by the police. Never.
A cop can't stop a nigga in a cardigan. Are you kidding me?
You understand?
And I'm sure police have done it.
No, they never stopped me.
Yeah, pink. Come on, pink. I got pink on.
Mind you, I'm just stop. You killing the vibe. I'm trying to promote for my job right now. He's like, oh, they gonna stop? No, man.
This is how y'all got to whisper singers, because everyone's like, oh, it looks safe over there. Let me whisper my way over to this bag.
But think about it though. This the thing people don't know. Them R&B niggas was gangsters too back then.
Oh, what? For sure.
They was thugged out.
100%.
For sure.
Are you crazy?
It
wasn't cool to be a rapper. Like, that shit wasn't. This is new. Like, rappers being cool is something totally new.
But because intellect in the black community back then was still important. Like, at least knowing something, carrying yourself a certain way, that was like, maybe they got it from the mob. I don't know. But it was just about, never present yourself as a gangster for real. But if you gotta be a gangster, take it there. But never be like, oh, I'm a gangster. I'm the hardest person in the room. It's like, well, now you just made a target for yourself. You'll be the deadest person.
I would much rather have ran into Tupac than Keith Sweat.
Yo, no kid, yo.
Like, without question.
I met Keith Sweat one time, and somebody was like, the person who introduced me, I don't say his name. He was like, yo, Keith Sweat, Pink Sweats. He looked at me with a way, and I said, oh, he a gangster. Like, he said.
That just sounds like a tour.
He said.
The Sweats?
The Sweats.
I rock with you. Like, but the way it was like, if he didn't like me, he would have told me.
Yeah,
I was like, Oh, I was scared. I was like, yo, he definitely not no like push around. Like,
No, not
and
at
he's
all.
smart. He's one of those guys people they sleep on. He really about his business.
Keith Sweat.
For sure.
Come on.
Yeah.
If you don't know about Keith Sweat, you just don't know about music.
Facts.
Speaking of we were talking about cosigns, and now we're talking about older legends of R&B. How you feel about like Jermaine Dupri right now, working heavy with Division, working with Ari Lennox, not trying to do the I'm the legend and I'm only going to work whenever Usher feels like coming out. Then I'll decide to work.
And he got ice cream. Shout out to him.
Which we
vegan
enjoyed.
Ice cream. I'm not vegan, but
we flew to Atlanta for it.
Yeah,
great.
I'm trying that. But I think it's dope because unfortunately, I don't think they're gatekeepers like they should be within like pop music. Like you got people like Max Martin. If he do the record, it's like, oh my God. I feel like we don't really reverence our legends like that no more. But I really respect that he does it because it's kind of like put some respect on my name. Because when he started getting something going again, it's like I do this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I rock with that. Like I rock with his energy and the fact that the records are good too. They don't sound like no old like corny stuff where a lot of people get stuck in their ways. You know.
Matter of fact, the new producers are trying to remix the JD shit. Yeah. And JD's moving
That's what
on.
I'm saying. He the GOAT. Like a lot of those guys back then, they knew what it take to make a record.
But that's where I feel like the only R&B cosigns didn't come from artists; they came from producers.
Yeah,
even down to like I feel like Bryson probably got the last cosign in R&B history, and that was from Timbaland.
Wow, producer wise.
Period. What other? I mean, I guess Giveon if you count the Drake shit, but what R&B artist got?
I feel like Tiller was definitely stamped by Drake too.
No, I mean, Drake tried to sign him, and then
but it still was a stamp.
Then he said no and said I'm not.
I feel like internet wise,
him.
if you didn't tell me that, I saw a stamp. I don't know.
It's
like,
a stamp.
To me, it was like
if Drake. If it's known that Drake wanted to sign you, that's a stamp.
That's a stamp, bro.
Because it's like, okay, the biggest artist in music wants to sign this artist. That means that this artist is talented.
And can we take a second for Drake?
We live in an industry world. If you walked outside and someone was listening to Bryson Tiller and said, "This is my favorite artist," and you said, "Did you learn about Bryson Tiller from Drake?" They would say no.
I would never say that.
No, I mean,
well, I didn't know. I didn't want to do some polls in the street with you, but
I would never ask somebody, "How did you hear about this guy?"
I feel like Bryson Tiller was one of the guys who he broke through on his own.
Yeah,
but once you get stamped, if you already broke through, it just takes you higher. Like, period, at a certain level, and if all the sound stuff matches, like people can see Drake co-sign him because they're like, yo, they would make fire music together. That's fire.
Right.
Because his sound definitely derived from Drake.
Yeah, and Drake he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? And I think he gets he don't get enough credit for his impact on R&B. I don't think he do. Like, nobody else can do it even within R&B. Like, labels can't do it.
Talking about Drake.
Yeah, what he does is like, man, if labels could do that, if they could just point and say, you the one. Or like put your vocals in a song and be like, yo, this is such and such. Bro, the game would change, but they can't do it. That's why it's so hard to break R&B right now on the business side. It's so hard because nobody understands it right now. The space is unmapped. You got Pink Sweats. You got Giveon. They two different sounds. How is that R&B? For somebody who's trying to break in, it's like, what do I do? Yeah, like, who do I copy? What do I mimic?
But I kind of think that's a good thing. And I also forgot LMA and Mustard. I guess that was...
You're not thinking about the system. For creatives, it's great. But for the system, it's like, what do? We just throw money everywhere and just hope something works.
Well, that was my original question in the beginning of like, how has that fucked you up trying to put music out of if I see the algorithms working with... Honesty is my number one record, but then I do a pop record, which got me more exposure, but clearly Honesty is working more numbers-wise and monetarily. It's like, all right, the label's telling me go with the exposure part and this time, and then I'm going to lose all the Honesty fans. And
I mean, honestly, I think a lot of artists just gotta... One, when you're a real, true creative, you get a different sense of confidence. Like, I'm really confident in what I do because I know if nobody else is in the room, I'm going to make a great song. I made Honesty. Yeah, and you can't tell me nothing. Like, that's how I feel. So it's kind of like when you spent 10 years behind the scenes really doing this and like working at your craft when nobody's paying attention to you and you get your shot.
It's different.
You can't really tell me nothing. And even though I definitely have listened to the labels here and there, but I'm very quick about being like,
Kaiser, you're stupid.
no, it's not that you stupid. You don't get me.
joking.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm like, I'm an anomaly. I feel like the way I even started music, like I used to be in a room with 100 niggas. I'm recording, and none of them is me. They all rappers, all got that thing on. I'm sitting there like a little nerdy. I'm recording a love song amongst them talking. So I come up in
with
that
drugs and guns in the room.
Yeah.
Listen, I ain't say no names.
Listen, no names.
But like that's how
funny.
I come up because it's unfortunate because when you not a part of that life, you don't have nowhere to go. Like I had to go work with rappers. I had to be in uncomfortable situations for me to get my rocks off creatively. It's like, well, where else I'ma go?
Yeah.
There's no system for me out there. My parents ain't got money for me to get a laptop at that point. So it's like I have to go into these spaces and move, which it played in my, in my favor because like I said, I can make a song in any condition. Like if it's a bunch of people in a room, a lot of people are like, yo, it's too much going on. Yeah. For me, I can respect that, but I'm like, I got to get to it.
With the chaos.
I chose this career. So I got to make the best out of it. I got to, I got to get to it, period.
Who's some of the artists that you want to work with that you haven't worked with?
First, I say Russ, just because I just respect him as a business guy.
He was just sitting in this chair.
Yeah, I rock with Russ.
I'll put us in a group chat.
I like that he's just about his business, and I wish that I want to be like R&B version of that as far as the business side of just being transparent with a lot of people, because I think people think that one, it's no money in music, which is the biggest lie. It's so much money. Is you getting it? Probably not.
Yeah.
But it's a lot out there. And I feel like because R&B is so here or there as far as like the image, there's no real one way to be now. Like back in the day when you had like Drew Hill or something, I gotta come with the sexy vibes and the leather on leather. Like, because
a lot of leather.
That's the way to do it. Now you don't know. And also, you don't really know that people really get money.
Yeah.
Because they're not showing it. That's not the R&B way. So it's kind of like, why do I want to do that? You know what I mean? Like, I had somebody say to me one time on tour, sold out show, by the way. And he says to me, one of the guys who worked there, he was like, yo, bro. He was definitely a hood nigga. Like, he was like, yo, bro, I ain't never heard of your shit before, but like, you had that shit rocking, yo. Like, I like what you vibing with.
That's how like, I show love.
He said, I can't wait till you a millionaire one day. And I was like,
why you can't wait till I'm a millionaire?
No, but I respected that because that was his way of saying like, yo, I want to see you win. Me, I'm
waiting on you.
Yeah,
just
like
rob your ass.
Nah, he wasn't on that. He was really being genuine, and I felt it. But when he said it, it triggered to me like, dang, I got bigger songs than most of y'all favorite rappers. Like, and I'm not on social media as much as y'all. Labels not pumping out me as much as they pumping y'all. But he really don't know that I'm up. And one, that's a good thing because I don't never have to watch my back for nothing. Two, I'm not wearing all my money on me. But simultaneously, is that a disservice to the next young kid who is creative, but he thinking like me? I want to be profitable too. Do I got to be creative on my grandma's couch forever? No. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like the kid that would be influenced by your music, I don't know if they're gravitating towards that, because I feel like if you did that, it would just feel
but they
inauthentic.
Should. That's what I'm saying. That's like, my point. The money matters.
That's the value of Russ, but we've seen where it's gotten Russ with a lot of public opinions when he comes up here and it sounds like he's being arrogant and this Bravo shit when he's really not.
It's a delivery.
He's really trying to do that.
It's his delivery, and also he's white and he knows these things. For sure. So it's
he's very aware.
Yeah, he's a very self-aware person. But my thing is, it's not so much a Pink Sweats thing. It's just an industry thing where these kids don't know, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think most rappers really wanted to be singers. They felt like they had to be that nigga that they are right now.
Yeah.
And if they see niggas like me start winning, that'll put a fucking sour taste in their mouth. Like, damn, I could have just been a singer, nigga. I ain't gotta be shooting nobody.
Yeah.
I don't gotta be acting like I'm shooting nobody. But I could have just been that.
I think that's a
and still got the girls.
I think that's still a perception in the world, though. Because like when I found out Trashmen made over $120,000 a year,
Yeah.
I was like,
He was
wait,
like, whoa.
what? The trash guys is making over
Getting
6
bags.
figures. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I could work on the Long Island Railroad right now and make $200K a year.
Yeah.
No fucking way that guy that's clipping my ticket right now is making $200,000 a year. It's a perception thing, I think, across any business we do. Because someone could come up to you and be like, yo, I'm a stockbroker. And they could have the suit on. And you just think because they're a stockbroker and they have a suit on, they must be rich. And it's like, nah, he could just be bad at his job and be broke as fuck.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's all perception. And then how would you, as someone that is financially stable and making the music he wants to make, even pitch that to somebody?
But that's the thing.
Like wear more jewelry, like do more interviews and be like, yo, I'm rich. Like how,
No.
it would just be weird.
It's not even about me saying that I'm rich. Mind you, I'm popping my shit right now because it's fun. It's fun.
No, for sure. Yeah,
It's fun. It's funny.
This is pop your
But
shit
the
down.
real talk is about financial literacy in this business. Nobody tells you, bro. And like, I'm grown, bro. And I be feeling like, dang, nobody told me that when you get the money, that's not the end. Because people think, yo, I got $3 million. I just made, or some people, you might got 20. But whatever lifestyle you live in, if this the last check you ever get, can you sustain that till you're damn near 80 years old? No.
Yeah.
You can't.
I see what you're saying.
Because you went and bought the mansion immediately. You didn't think about investing into a 401k. You didn't think about a hedge fund, anything. You didn't think about investing into quality things. You just giving your friends money, talking about, oh yeah, my man's selling hats. And no diss to somebody selling hats, because some people actually get money. But we're not taught to evaluate things critically because we're so creative and nobody's championing being smart. And not book smart, but like life smart, where you're making good life decisions. And nobody's gonna make all the right decisions. But we don't even have a platform, especially singers. It's so many talented people that just lose because they don't know. Because all the singers who going through it or been through it, they're not talking about it. I've been through it already. I've not been out that long, but I've made some money. I've made bad financial decisions, and I made some great decisions. But I don't feel like I feel like there should be platform, especially in 2022, where singers can now discuss money, and even rappers should be discussing to the public, like, yo, it's not what you always think.
Yeah.
I know my image is this, because the one thing we don't want to hear is somebody we seen shining and flexing on everybody 3 years later or 3 months later. You know, the label this and that. Now you might be saying all facts. I don't care, because you flexed on us.
Right.
You had the 7 rollies on this arm, 7. I don't care now.
I like when dudes like
that's
that go broke, though. I like that.
Nah,
But see, that's what I'm saying.
Nah, but that's
Like
It's
dumb
not a
niggas? I
hater
like when
thing.
dumb niggas go
It's just
broke. I like
because
that.
we know
that's
in
just
our
the
mind
system,
you're
though.
flexing on me.
Yeah.
You trying to shit on me. You trying to shit on my dad, who's an everyday working person. I get more money than you get in the dick. And that's fine. But remember, the same people you see on the way up is the same people you see on the way down. And one of my old heads told me that. And somebody did that to me. Somebody thought they was about to be on when I was just writing songs. I'm befriending this person, and he flexed on me because he was working with some really, I think it was Drake actually. He was working with them, flexed on me. Leave me on red every time. But when you wasn't on, you was blowing me up, and I answered every time.
Yeah.
And then I become an artist. Yo, he looks so familiar. That's my man. No, you're not my man for real. But I'm a loving person, so I ain't gonna never hold it against you, but we gonna have to have a conversation. Remember when you did that?
When I did that? Oh,
not you.
I fuck with you.
He said, that was me? He's like, the way you pointed, like,
I never
right
worked
to
with
the
Drake.
text, like, y'all
You know
did
what I'm
that? Oh,
saying?
shit.
But a lot
Fuck
of
with you.
people, that's the culture. Like, people
no,
want to
for sure.
flex on everybody, but then you want
that's-
empathy and people to care when you're not winning. It's like, no, you should have played it cool before.
But that's an insecurity thing, and how the entire entertainment business is set up, down from the labels to social media to the fans, and how they big people up based off things that don't really matter, that aren't music related. Because even it's not an excuse, but it is to some degree, of a young artist coming from a place where he would have zero financial literacy at all. Even the joke I made before, I could do long division and solve for X, I can't do my own taxes.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
there is no setup
That's
to do,
facts.
especially outside of that just being an American thing. In the music industry, it's even heightened. Yeah, you're gonna have a kid that has no idea what the fuck is going on, and you're offering me $250,000, which I think is for me. It's not. It's for a budget.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna spend all that shit up and have no music at the end of the day because I think that's my money.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting here like, yo, fuck the label. And granted,
Fuck the label. Even though you were a bad deal for them to sign anyway.
I agree, fuck the label, but because they're taking advantage of you. And so I can't really get mad at that.
It's capitalism, though. I hate when
kid.
people say that, bro. I understand. Some people feel some kind of way. That's feelings. That's why you were creative, because you think like in your feelings. I'm a creative. I be in my feelings, but I'm also a business person. I started my life selling calendars when I was 6 because my dad didn't want to pay for the trip. So it's like, I know I appreciate $1 to a certain degree. So
You sold chocolates?
I sold chocolates, but my dad never, you know how they do the school fundraisers? My dad wouldn't let me do that. He'd be like, you gotta make them money? Sell your
just
own
had a conversation
chocolates.
about that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Of like, you sell a whole bunch of shit, then they give you a football out of the magazine.
Yeah, it's like,
wait, I just gave, how much money I gave you?
My dad was the
Could've bought
killer of
$20
all
football.
dreams to me as a kid. Like,
No, that's some
he would
smart shit. Yo,
expose
they're taking
everything.
advantage of you right
I'm
here.
like, nigga, I just wanted a toy. Like, damn, let me go sell all these cookies at church and get my damn light.
Right.
Like, you gotta
He was
ruin
teaching
everything.
you?
But he was schooling me.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm hyper emotional, low key. Like, I see everything and I feel it deeply. But I also have that side from like my pops where it's like, put that to the side. What are you trying to accomplish? How do you do it? So it's like with the label, it's just capital, it's business.
But
If you come to the table and you really ain't worth nothing, you done hyped yourself up thinking I'm somebody, but you ain't proved that yet. That's like Apple, Google. That's like all these big companies. They not like, man, I feel like I got when they bought me. It's like, no, we evaluated you. An evaluation. You sold 0. If anything, you got the better side of the deal. It's like, if you done this, donuts, no glaze,
yeah.
and they give
They're
you
the
a
risk. I get it.
$250,000.
But
You know how long it take to make $250,000 as a everyday upstanding citizen? So it's like, if you've proved this much and they give you that $250,000, at that point, you have the upper hand because you really can stop making music.
But that don't happen no more, by the way. That's the old thing. Now they look at algorithms, and you have a whole bunch of proof
Algorithms on
that you
social media.
You got
Mad
views,
people
and they can evaluate it that way. And now they're undervaluing shit. Before there used to be artist development where
I
they
don't know. They
would invest
undervalue
in
my
a zero. What?
I'm just
undervalue
saying.
you?
Well, because I had
Yeah.
actual numbers. Now, look, mind you, I don't even have 1 million followers on Instagram yet, right?
Plug your Instagram.
Pink Sweats. That's it. Pink Sweats. Check me out. But like, I never really cared about that, and maybe that's to a default. Maybe I could have even more. Maybe I could be doing more. But I focused where the money was at.
Well, I mean, from a YouTube and streaming perspective, that now I feel like A&R is
You know what you
is
worth, though,
artist and it's algorithm and shit. It's not.
You know what you
But even
worth,
that's
though.
bullshit, though.
It is.
But
But
I'm
I'm saying
saying,
you should
what-
know. You should have seen. My thing is, people be selling off their rights to stuff they never actually seen. Even if you got 5 million streams and you hype, yeah, I did this for that muscle. You don't even know what that equal in
got a
paper. though.
0.001
You know
penny
how much
off
money
one of
that
them.
is
Yeah.
because you didn't look at the check. Your manager probably did, or your friend who's running things. So you don't even actually understand the dollar amount. And they're evaluating you. And okay, let's just say they undercut you. That's your fault because one, you not doing yourself justice by trying to position the right people around you. Whether that's, now mind you, you can always make a mistake, but when you try, that's all that matters. You know, you ain't nobody in the hood that's like, I never heard of an accountant. You seen people fail. You see, you can hire an accountant. If the accountant duke you, your soul will be fulfilled to know that at least I tried. But if you're not looking at your business from a standpoint of like, all right, when I'm making these songs and I'm in the studio, it's about music. When I step out there and I step to this label, that label, and they say, oh, we evaluate you at $250,000. It's like, well, if you just made that off your streams already, then you know that that doesn't make sense.
Okay, can I challenge you on this then?
Yes, please do. Please do. Because I'm not 100% right. I'm only like 80.
Of a label of course, as any company, period, not even music related, any client they're getting to, they're going to evaluate what their P&L will be, profit loss. All right, this is what they're coming in with. This is what we think we can bring them to a place to see what we're going to put in and what we're going to get back. Correct?
100%.
Now, they're doing that based off whatever the math is with the DSP, correct?
100%.
Okay, so when the label and the DSP are actually partners and invested in
beans.
how
I'm the label and the partner. So
how on earth is that an accurate estimate of what your value is when your value to what we're gonna have to pay you out. But 100%. When I'm partnered with the person that's coming up with this 0.0.01 cent penny shit off a stream, it's not an accurate value of who you are as an artist because I'm already partnered with the distribution. So I'm gonna eat twice.
Yeah, it's not. But
so
that's
you're being so undervalued. It's
still
incredible.
Capitalism, though. That's the game. So just don't get into it. That's what I'm saying. Like I respect.
You shouldn't be an artist.
I respect guys like Brent Faiyaz, who he maintains his independence because that makes him comfortable. He don't want to. So he has the option because he's proven himself to be able to provide for himself.
Yeah.
So I don't need the label. And if I do, y'all got to show and prove to me. Period. So that's my thing. A lot of artists, we don't go to those extreme lengths to prove anything. It's not even to ourselves. We just create the idea in our head that we the shit. But nobody likes you for real. You popped off of a stupid video that people didn't even know you was the artist. This is him? The guy who drank lean on the camera and fell out? Oh, that was him? Wow, that's so cool. You listen to that one song, you're not building anything. So for them, the label, the way I look at it is like they're looking at how can we get the most for the least at all times.
For their business.
That's any business.
No, but their business. And I'm not knocking that. I never think the label shouldn't get paid. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
I just think
they do finesse though.
I'm saying
with you.
When you're literally investing. I worked at Sony Music, right? Mm-hmm. When I worked at Sony Music and Spotify went public, I got an email that said if I buy any stock into Spotify right now, it's insider trading because I work at Sony. Because Sony is an investor into Spotify.
Yeah, 100%.
So when you value an artist's worth signing to Sony based off their views, based off what Spotify pays.
And they control the numbers.
Label is double dipping, so that's not the value of the artist and what their P&L will be if I sign to your company.
That's true. And the number that the label gets is not the number that you would get independently.
No fuck.
Because they're tied in.
Close. Exactly.
So yeah, I agree. It's definitely a finesse, but it's kind of one of those finesses where it's like, what are you in it for? No, what are you in it for? Like me and my manager, we had a really deep conversation before I ever did my deal at Atlantic. It's like, yo, we throwing these numbers. We don't really need to do a deal. If you want to stay here and kind of build really, really slow, that's fine. We can do that. Or if you want to try to attempt being and leaving a mark, a certain kind of mark, this is the system. You have to plug in. Now, mind you, if it don't work out, the kind of deal that we're going to try to get,
you don't take a loss.
You don't really take no L. And even if you do, first country, I mean, it's kind of like first world problem. It's like, I can't get a Bentley. Yeah. It's like, all right, you cool, but you was making, you know what I mean? But you was making $30,000 a year before.
That kind of goes back to your conversation with the security guard at the spot. Because it's like, all right, I could not go with the machine that's probably going to pump me as far as perception and eyes on me to a new level, which to a lot of artists, I understand. You want to put a real mark in the music. You're an artist. I totally get that perspective. But if you want to build a core fan base and actually make some real money that will be generational for your family, sometimes having a bunch of eyes on you isn't the way. It's the fan base that you do have. Because I know artists that, like you're saying, people don't know how much money you have or how many tickets you can sell.
I have no money, motherfucker.
Of course not. No, I know. Of course, to train you.
I don't think, I have no money.
I know plenty of artists like that can sell out venues where artists that have the most eyes, you would think they're a number one artist, couldn't sell out SOBs if you asked them to.
That's fact.
So, yeah, it depends what you really want out the shit and what your view of success and what your view of fulfillment is and what your view of what perception you want to the world. I'll tell you why I did it. Because I think if you, because you're saying
why
that
you signed, you mean?
I'll tell you why I signed, because I literally did it because I always felt like I was gonna be rich. That's like I'm just saying, like, since I was a kid, the way I thought, I'm like, this some ghetto shit. It can't be for me.
Right.
Like, I don't know why. That was just in my head. Maybe
Yeah.
my mom said it when I was in her stomach or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I knew that what I saw growing up, I didn't want people to see only that. And then when I moved to the suburbs, it's kind of like some Fresh Prince stuff, right? But I'm actually from West Philly. I've lived in North Philly. I've lived in Northeast. I've lived all over Philly. And I really remember thinking to myself, why is it corny to be an upstanding black person?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was young, we always made fun of like people who were doing the right things.
Mm-hmm.
My teacher, he was a black guy, one of the few black male teachers we even had. And he would ride a bike to school. Very proper guy, tucked his shirt in. We thought he was a clown.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved to the suburbs and I was like 16, biggest culture shock, bro. And then how people perceived me, that hurt my feelings. Because I'm like, damn, I can't talk to people because when they see me, they don't know that many black people.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people that they do know, I know what they listening to. 50 Cent, because he's the hottest nigga in the world at that time. And it's subconsciously programming them that if you look any way threatening, I don't know you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And it's a vibe. And I'm just like, I don't like that vibe. Like, why? Like, why now do I lose opportunities if I'm driving in the hood and the police pull me over because I'm in a certain kind of car? Why? Why can't I? Like, why is all this way? And I just started reverse engineering. I'm just like, man, like nobody that's upstanding, nobody
They got to
likes
deal with that shit. Yeah.
They don't think that's cool in our culture. But then, shout out to Ed Sheeran, t-shirt jeans, rich as a motherfucker. There's no black version of that at his age bracket, and there probably won't be because of the way the system is set up.
Yeah.
You got people like John Legend balling. In my hood, when I was young, he was corny. Nobody actually wanted to be like him. We liked him. We respect him. Like, oh, he on that song. But as a
Went
man,
to UPenn, I think.
as a man, I respect John Legend. He got a family.
100%.
He's not into drama. Like, he's not getting shot at. He's not worried about getting his door kicked in by the police. These are the things that really, I'm not even being like on no fiction. This real. Like, this really what made me want to be that person. I got cousins. Like, my cousin, I was just at his game, and all the kids like, oh my God, Pink Sweats. And I know that I ain't spoiling these kids. I'm not ruining none of these kids. If they listen to any of my music for real, they're not going to take any of that and ruin their lives. I didn't tell them to do drugs. I've not instructed them to do anything except love. And if that hurts you, all right, cool, holla at me. You got hurt.
Love hurts sometimes.
Yeah, it do, but take that over jail, bent over.
That's much better
or
than
whatever
bullet.
people doing in there. I hope I never find out. But it's like, that's really why I do what I do, is because imagery. I traveled the world, bro. Like, people are afraid of American black people, black men. And it's because we don't control our image. We're always looked at through the dominant white society's view. So you don't even get a chance. I couldn't even get a taxi in certain places. You gotta go to the one in the back. The fuck?
Yeah.
Nah, if you dress like that, you can get a cab.
No, bro. Think about it.
I can't get it.
I had a big. I actually posted this one time. It wasn't like a big deal for me, but it was scary because I couldn't get home. I had a big jacket on. It was cold as fuck. I think I was in like somewhere in London or wherever. And I was literally, we could not get a taxi.
It's wealth talk.
You
don't even know if he was in London.
Yeah.
That's not what
Spin the globe. Spin the globe.
I couldn't get a taxi though, and that hurt my feelings, bro. And I knew I saw white people getting taxis.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this was only like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I can be mad at the white man, or I could start doing something about it. I could say, you know what? Here I am. I'm not gonna present myself as a threat to you. So any opportunity you skip me over, I'm gonna let you know. Well, Ed Sheeran did that. Well, I can't do a guitar song. Well, because the black audience, fuck you, nigga. What are you talking about? The black audience. Do you know every black person?
Right.
Are you trying to subtly tell me you're racist?
Yeah.
Because I'm here for it. I'm not gonna judge you, but I'm gonna tell people.
Yeah.
And that's the conversations, that I have. Like even with Atlantic, like I know Craig, Julie, I talk to them personally, and we have real conversations about the kind of artist I want to be.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that, don't give me all this fucking money because you're just gonna take an L. I don't care. I got my bread. I just want to be able to put out content that my little cousin, I know where they from. I don't want him to be looking at me like, oh, Big Cuz is a drug dealer. He doing this. That's the way. So if I want to be close to him, then I got to do these things. That is some dumb shit.
I agree.
Like, for real. That's dumb. And we got to stop making that shit cool because it's not. And if I got to be the person to walk around in my pink and people feel uncomfortable, like, why is he always smiling? Why is he always happy? I'm not always smiling and always happy. But I'm going to put that front on before I put on I'm doing drugs front. Before I act like I'm killing people, I'd rather act like I'm a loving person if that's the worst thing in the fucking world.
Fair. Quickly back to the collaborative thing and the conversation we were having with financial literacy. Do you feel like you should reach out to artists? Fuck music. Just your experience in the music industry, and instead of even trying on the we should collaborate the way the rappers do, of like, we should just chop it up. And I think Brent is someone that should do it as well.
He's fire.
Of how to move so business. Dope. I'm saying how to move business wise. Fuck music. Reach out to other R&B artists you may see that are getting fucked, that could get out of certain situations because you've had so much time in here. And because financial literacy is so important, fuck even starting the conversation with we should work on music. Like,
I mean, it's just
like
hard.
Brent should tell everyone the STEM shit that's going on right now. Like
100%. And funny enough, I tell artists about that, even though I'm not in it anymore.
Yeah.
When I was doing my thing. But, and I tell kids now, I'm like, yo, what do you want? Don't just sign.
Yeah.
Don't ask me, is this a good label? It ain't gonna be one for you if you ain't got your head on right, if you don't know what you really want. Because they don't know what you want, and they just gonna use you like a test dummy, as they should. Because they gave you money.
Same resources,
yes,
same bread.
But I ask people, what do you want? How much are you making? One of my homies right now, shout out Otis Kane. He's doing his thing, and he watched me come up, and he replicated. He doing his thing right now.
Yeah.
And do everybody know him? No, because he's not signed to a label. Right. But he's getting money. He's providing a life for himself outside of just him loving music. And my thing with everybody that I encounter in this space, I want to let them know that if you're not where I'm at yet, don't trip. Get your money. Learn the business. Learn how to promote your songs. Get with somebody who does know how to actually promote music. Because you're just going to keep getting deeper into the bamboozling because labels don't know what they're doing.
No.
I don't expect Atlantic Records to blow me up. And I love Atlantic because they do right by me. But I don't ever go into anything expecting that they're going to do some magical work of God to like make me. I know when I go in the studio, if they don't promote this song at all, this song need to be compelling as the first song I made when I didn't have them. People need to feel this.
Yeah, I think power's in numbers with the artist because corporate always has an answer to everything. Because now that we don't, now that the labels aren't needed, for some artists they are needed. Don't get me wrong there, but because they're not necessary for every single artist, they answered with DSPs.
Yeah, that's true.
So now there's always something
that's
that
lame,
every artist,
by the way.
They've been doing it since cassettes. Every time we fix something, they answer with something else because
they should be
have
doing
all the
analytics
money.
with no pictures. That'll fuck the game up. I got a country song I put out. It was on R&B.
But look,
it's a country song. When I say that, like, bro, I literally cried, dog. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, I felt like I was in the fucking 50s, nigga. I'm like,
what they did to Beyonce.
Damn. Like,
the Country Music Awards was pissed that she was gonna do what was it, Daddy's Lessons from Lemonade?
Crazy.
Was like, wait, this isn't country. It's like, why the fuck is this not a country? This is a country song. What are you talking about?
Because we can't come over here getting none of our money. Listen,
it's our money to begin with. But
I'm saying, like,
music.
even
it all stems from.
Like, that's the part that's crazy about all this.
But part of me respects them. It's like a love-hate thing. Because part of me is like, damn, we don't got no lock on our shit. Because if we did, everybody wouldn't be able to just do it.
It's all our shit, though.
No, but I'm saying what we call black music, because everybody don't resonate with country. You know what I'm saying? Like, all black people. That's not we resonate with R&B. We resonate with rap. But we don't own it. We don't rep it. Like in the South and all that, where they doing country, they run it. It's like,
Well, it's because our culture.
We don't validate you. Now we're your Jordans.
Right, but that's because our culture.
This can't be a country song based on your shoes, boy.
Yeah, but that's only because our culture is very like hip hop culture is very open. We accept anybody.
Sure.
We don't care if you black.
Black people
Asian,
in general are very open. We accept.
very forgiving.
Very forgiving.
Very forgiving people.
Even with the DSPs and podcasting and music all together this week. What was it? Neil Diamond, Neil Young, and a few other artists said. Joe Rogan is a big podcaster, as most people know. He allegedly, I haven't listened, has been putting out wrong information about the vaccines and shit. So people are boycotting. And
it's not wrong information.
I don't know. I didn't even see it.
He's been very vocal about just questioning things that are being put out about the vax. And he had COVID, and he put the stuff that he used out on the internet for people to try. He said it worked for him. Other people followed suit when they caught COVID and said it worked for them.
So he got show for that?
So he's just been very vocal about, because now if you're speaking about,
it's like America slowly becoming communist. It's kind of weird.
This
you can't say nothing.
This is basically what he's saying, and now
I'm not saying I agree because I don't even know what he said. But it's like,
but he's just saying even if it's wrong, he can say it.
Yeah, what?
Agree.
You can sell people milk,
right,
and tell them it's gonna make you strong bones,
right.
But
artists, you can't say something about.
Well, certain artists have. And listen, I don't give a fuck what he was saying, and I have no opinion on it.
I have no idea what
I'm just saying. Artists saw that and was like, "Yo, take my music off Spotify because I don't want my music near someone that's spewing something they disagree with."
So they should actually do it.
But the
people
stock,
always talking trash.
The stock of one artist plummeted Spotify that week.
Who?
Neil Young, Neil Diamond.
All right, cool.
No, but I'm saying powers and numbers with artists are fighting a DSP.
But I do like the fact that Spotify stood next to Joe Rogan in that.
I think it's only fair. If we was in another country, different outcome. In America, the idea is freedom. So if it's just an idea and it's not real, then yeah, crucify the guy. If that's the real truth, I don't know.
No, that's not what I'm arguing. Ultimately, I don't give a fuck what Joe Rogan says.
I don't know what
I'm saying one artist plummeted Spotify's stock when he said, take my catalog off. Imagine if all y'all DM'd each other and said, hey, we should take our fucking catalog off some shit that's paying us 0.0001 penny.
We gotta stop. We gotta slow down. This is media. This is media we dealing with. I don't know anybody that I always look at rankings on Spotify because I'm always trying to make sure I'm still on point. I make sure I'm still in that top 500 point. I don't personally even know who that guy is you just said, but maybe that's just because I'm ignorant.
I don't know. I am too.
I am. I'm from the hood. I really don't know that much.
I just know one artist. I don't care if it was fucking Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. I know one
artist took down.
But is it true? This is the thing. We look at headlines.
I'm not saying it affected Spotify. I'm sure
we don't know if it actually did anything.
The slightest. But to see a stock go down that quickly because off one artist and the fact that everyone has the ability to fucking DM each other is like,
that's fire.
It's like, yo.
But how do you unify when everyone's in different positions and we're not being honest? Now, see, if somebody's also, this is part of the division is money because artists are naturally competitive too. We're competitive too. We don't play sports. We're not dunking on you with our hands. We dunking on you with this song though. At my worst, billion streams or something like that. That's how you feel. I'm dunking. You. It's an ego stroke.
Yeah.
So if you feel like a lot of people, I don't feel this way, but I can see how a lot of people feel like, well, if I help them, then they might surpass me. It's like, that's weak to me. Like, you can't surpass me. And even if you do, God bless you. Because that means you really doing it. Because I know I'm doing it. I know I really put time and energy into this. And if you surpass me, I'm going to applaud you. And that's probably a church thing. I always, yo, man, dang, you did it, dog. That's crazy.
But you could still have ego and competition even if we all agree that this is unfair and we shouldn't be here.
It depends what kind of ego. That's what I'm saying. Like, some people, they don't want to see nobody past them. So they don't want to empower you in no way. If I tell you about STEM, if I tell you about independence, if I tell you about, look what we can do together, then the possibility is, one, you could take my idea, you could influence everybody before I get to them, and everybody's praising you. No, man, I'm just not going to take that chance. Or you can end up being the one person that stays in the system and win. It's kind of like slavery mentality, low key. It's like, well, if this person runs and 20 people run with him, and a person go tell on you, oh yeah, they over there trying to run, then he gets promoted. So when you got to come back on the plantation, then you got to see this dude on top. That's kind of how we all think. It's not.
But I think there's more value in the 20 people leaving than the one person staying who's still in the
But
system.
see, you a rebel.
Even if they rich in the system, they still in the system.
But you
Instead
a
of the 20
rebel.
people that are independent and doing it their way, there's no ceiling when you're that way. There's a
agree with
ceiling
you.
when you're in the system.
I agree with you, but
You're still a
you're
slave.
a rebel. But you're a rebel. I'm a rebel. I feel like I want to go against the system. I want to come into the system, try my very best to disrupt it. And if I can't, my situation is good enough where I'm just out. My fans are still building. I'm making an effort to always put out good music. I'm not trying to like convert to the industry, whatever. But I really am trying to disrupt this for the next person who might still want to come in.
Yeah.
Make it a little easier for you. Oh yeah, Pink Sweats was here. Look at this pink carpet we're going to roll out for you. You want to do some sweet, soft love songs as a black male? We got you. I want Atlantic to talk to them like that. But, you know, it's a lot of work, bro. Like, and I feel like in this industry, people get into it thinking, oh, once I get that payday, it's over.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
out. I'm up.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna work?
Yeah, you're
right.
gonna need 100 paydays.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money you get.
At minimum.
Because you're going to upgrade your lifestyle.
Overhead's
It's
going to be different.
Guaranteed. Unless you humble yourself to that point. Like, I feel like, and also there's a stigma to humbling yourself. But you got to be confident in yourself to know that, like, yo, if I lower my lifestyle, I don't have to explain that to people because you're not paying my bills. You're not XYZ. That's a lot of rappers that got a lot of money. Millions, for real. There's a lot of people that don't, but it's a lot of people that actually really got money, but their lifestyle's so crazy and they won't humble themselves to say, like, I don't really need 6 houses.
No.
Because if I sell these houses, then everybody around me gonna start thinking I ain't got it. Well, I don't really need to give my friend 100,000.
They renting 6 houses.
Right. But it's just
Not
so
even
many
value to it. They
it's
rent.
so
They
many
renting 6
things.
houses.
Yeah.
There's so many things in the industry that feeds your ego that keeps you from actually being fulfilled. Because
It's not your ego though.
it's ego.
No, it's not your ego.
No, not mine.
No.
Listen,
I'm
so humble.
not saying your. It's not even the
I'll
person.
talk my shit,
it's
but
the
I'm humble.
ego of the perception of what you think you're
Talk
supposed to
your
do.
shit, man.
You
You
think
doing
you
it
should-
right. You
I
doing
talk
it
my
right.
shit, but I allow myself to humble me. When sometimes, when I say humble, I don't like to use that word. I allow myself to be realistic sometimes because I'm
That's
a very
important.
wild thinker.
very
so I
important.
can go, man, I want to be like Apple. Like, you know how Ye be talking?
Yeah.
But at
Walt
the same
Disney,
time,
every
I
other
have
name.
to recognize moments where it's like, you know what? In order for me to do this, if I want to invest X amount of dollars into this long-term thing, maybe I don't need the house that I'm in right now. And I can downgrade to an apartment. And I can say, yo, I'll thug it out here, but I got bag over here for the next 20 years that's probably going to boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to do that because it's like, well, then what people going to think? They don't think I ain't doing it like
But
that no more.
you've crossed the line that it takes some people their entire lives to get over as
I've
dealing
been
with your
broke
own
most of my life.
personal ego. Because most people's ego is based off society and what you think you should do.
Yeah.
A lot of people's ego, they was not born going, I need 6 Bentleys. Their ego was built in, I think I need 6 Bentleys because that's what looks
And
like
you
it's
see
popping.
somebody that gets that, and you
And
like,
you
I'm more
like, I can
talented
do
than
that.
him.
I know
Yeah.
I got more money
Like,
than
I'm
him.
more talented than him. If he got
Fair.
6, I gotta have 12.
My entire life, I had a 93 Chevy Malibu was the first car I ever had. And then I didn't have a car up until I got my mother one, and I took her old Mazda. And I only kept it because it was the pandemic, and I was like, it's better than taking the train, right?
Right.
We got our deal. Every car, dream car I ever thought I can afford right now. I'm driving around New York City seeing potholes, everything. I'm going, I'm staying in this motherfucking Mazda.
For sure.
But
That's smart. I still don't have a
but
car.
that takes time and
I don't have a
understanding and
car.
going through experiences. So many people that are young, and I'm not even saying age-wise, young in mind, are going to look, their ego is not going to be built off their experiences or their personality. It's going to be built around everything they see. So they're not going to think that way. They're going to think, my ego needs 6 fucking Bentleys, so I'm going to spend this whole advance and go get that shit.
Yep.
And
And
then be
I'ma
left with
flex.
that.
That's the dumbest shit in the world.
Dumb.
man. That's
dumb,
the
dumb.
dumbest shit.
Even
in
if
the world.
you, bro, this the thing about, like, I would say, like, hood mentality sometimes. I don't know if it's hood, but I'm from the hood, so I'm going to just say hood mentality. That's all I know. We think that we got to show everything. And when I started to be around, like, wealthy, like, white people, like, a lot of my friends who are, like, they might not be wealthy, but they just have a wealth building mindset. And I'm like, we like the same age. And they like, We do a deal. We both getting money. I know. We both just got a bag. They go put their money somewhere. My dumb ass, I want to go buy something. I'm buying a chain because I'm trying to fill that space of that kid. Now I got the chain. I'm like, this shit is the dumbest thing ever. Mind you, it didn't take me under, but because of my mindset and the
Just
surroundings, the things I put myself around mentally, because I want to grow outside of that 6 Bentleys. Now, if I could ever afford it, do Jeff Bezos? All I think is, do Jeff Bezos have 6 Bentleys? Now, not that I need to compare myself because we different culturally, but why you can't just have one? I don't even know if he has any cars. He could or he could not. It's just like,
it's not even a fly car like that though. Like when you really get into that,
we make everything fly.
Yeah, but it's like certain shit that in our culture that we deem to be like cool. It's like, well, we've been lied to for a long time.
We lied to ourselves.
Yeah.
We look at stuff expensive, and I know because I'm a nigga, I do this, and I have to like tap into my other side to be like, nope. Like I see something, even if it's food, bro. If you can see, I like to eat, right? I'm eating the finest things, bro. Yeah. Like when I was in the hood, I'm eating McDonald's. So the same way I used to eat that, now I want Wagyu. What's up? But if the price ain't right, I don't think it's real Wagyu. I'm questioning the person. Where's the birth certificate for the beef?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Oh, you different. But now you acting different. See,
hood Chinese food different. I'm keeping it a beef.
Hood Chinese food is better than Tao. So like,
no, it is. But listen, it's a mentality thing. That's what I'm saying. Like we see prices. Yeah, and that starts in the hood. Like my dad told me one time, I keep talking about my dad. My mom gonna be mad at me. She always hates that. Well, you always picking up your father. So my dad told me when I used to live in the hood, we used to get free lunch. And this is a crazy thing. We used to get free lunch. Nobody ate the free lunch. We all live in poverty. My dad told me one time. He said, "You better eat that lunch." He said, "Dumb kids who are not eating that lunch might be the only meal they get all day." And they trying to look cool. And I thought my dad was so dumb. Like, man, people eat every day. And I remember one of my friends, his name was Doobie. His house was on the news, bro. It was mattresses stacked to the ceiling, roaches, rats. His parents was making him sell drugs. And when my dad saw it, he said, "Ain't that your man's?" This is like 6th grade. I said, damn, my dad was right. Like he wasn't eating school lunch because he didn't want to look poor. We all poor. Right. Obviously, it's a reason it's free. And then when I went to the suburbs, you got to pay for lunch. Everyone's eating the lunch. People are mad that they're not getting it free. I believe that I should have it for free. Why did my parents pay good taxes? And I'm just like, the mentality is just, it's different. Unfortunately, it's different, bro. Like when you see that kind of thing, that's why I feel like Will Smith, man, GOAT. Not even on no personal life stuff, but just what he was able to accomplish. Because he was able to see two sides of a coin. And like, I remember I told one of my white friends when I was in high school, I was like, I've seen your life, you ain't never seen mine, and you probably never will. And he was like, dang, that's real. Because we was arguing about some math stuff. He was trying to flex on me, like, you should just know this. I'm like, you don't know where I'm from. Like, I wish
the basics first.
You act like I just didn't want to know. Like, I wasn't taught that. And at the point where I'm at, I gotta get this money. Like, I can't be a bum. I can't be a statistic. Like, my dad, I gotta make my dad proud. I gotta make my mom proud. It's so many things that come before algebra now. It's like I have to do something with my life. So when I said that to him, I could see on his face that it was like something, a veil lifted. Like, dang, like I'm at your crib in the suburbs. You would never be where I'm from. Right. You don't even want to. Even if I invited you, come on down, buddy. Like, it's cool. They be shooting and shit, but like, they're not shooting at you. Right. It's like, you don't want to come there.
Nothing is cool. If they shoot in the air, it's still not cool.
Bro, but look, when you raised in that, like, that was normal. Like, we be outside playing, bah, 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 bah. You're not even flinching. Yeah. When I went back to North Philly not that long ago, to see one of my peoples, I'm trying to be humble. I'm sleeping on the couch, like, I'm like,
this is recently?
No, it's like 2 years ago.
Oh, all right. I'm about to say,
it's kind of recent.
But listen, I hadn't been there for a little while. And mind you, it was only like 3 months. I was separated from that environment. When I say my heart never raced so fast, man, I said, This is dysfunctional. Like,
This
You
is
start
insane.
talking like that once you start paying certain taxes.
Yeah.
You like, they should call the
this is
authorities.
I start understanding why white people get mad when you walk in front of their house.
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
You paying all this money.
Yeah, don't
and
step
taxes?
on my lawn.
I started yelling at people. I was a little poor Asian guy, man. He was outside of my house. I'm riding up. I said, "You live around here?" That's why I was living in L.A. I had a crib. I'm like, I said, "You live around here?" He on the phone. I said, "Don't be walking in front of people's houses on the phone."
This was an Asian guy?
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I felt like a Karen, bro. But when you paying kind of money and
Get off
The,
my
the
lawn,
taxes
man.
I get
Yeah.
to New York City, we was all late today because
be in front of my
condolences to the police officer that died, but there was a big funeral ceremony around where we're recording, so everyone was late. And I got out my car and just walked at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing all these police officers, and I know how much I pay in New York City taxes.
Yeah.
And I said, no wonder the Bronx and Brooklyn's a fucking war zone. Look at these fat fucks. This is what I'm paying?
Yeah.
They
You
don't
can't
feel like
protect
they
me.
run.
Yeah.
They don't look like they move.
No. They
They
shoot.
just like-
Wait, hold
they
on. This is where
wobbling
my
like
tax
this.
dollars is going?
No, they shoot.
You
They
can't
ain't- they ain't
protect
gonna chase
anyone.
you.
They go, "Grah, grah,
Yeah, they
grah."
gonna shoot your
They
ass.
gang.
Yeah.
They was
gang.
limping down the street. I'm
But
like,
that's what happens when you start in that bracket. You start paying them taxes. You start
You
looking
start
at
analyzing things.
Yeah, like
where's
I'm
my
paying
money?
the salary.
I hit
like, yeah.
7 potholes, and now I'm looking at a cop that can't walk.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is this money going?
But look, pre the money, we fine.
give
We
a
don't
fuck.
understand anything. I
give
don't
a
know
fuck.
why they profiling me.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
up? And it's
Yeah.
like, wait, sir, do you live in this building? I'm
Yeah.
asking white people. I remember once she knows what I'm talking about. My girl knows what I'm talking about. It was these people sitting in my lobby. They all white.
Oh man.
I was like, y'all live here?
Yeah.
Like,
Get your shit off. Now it's my
yo.
turn. Now it's my turn to get my. Yo, y'all
I
live
said,
here?
y'all live here?
Yeah.
They looked at me in the strangest way, like they just didn't have to respond.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I understand now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I get it. Like you just protective about your space and environment.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like when you're not really, you know what I'm saying? And most of the time, unfortunately, my friends who dibbled and dabbled in crime, they be the screaming the loudest about injustice. I'm like, you're a criminal. What?
You haven't paid taxes.
You don't
ever.
get to pull that card. I do.
They're not profiling you by
Yeah,
accident.
it's like,
they know that you're
but
fucking.
they catch me though. It's like, but you know you're a criminal.
Absolutely.
I get it. They cheating the game, but you should.
Yeah, you know.
You know what
you
do.
can't be calling no
Yeah,
cops.
it's
That's why
like,
you got to
come
buy
on.
6 Bentleys.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Listen, leave the 6 Bentleys alone. Get y'all good 401k or something like that.
It ain't just materialistic shit.
Nah.
As far as that perception, I know a bunch of dudes just trying to fuck the most trash bitches ever, just because that's the perception of what they think they should. fuck on
$100.
Instagram.
Just
like,
give them $100.
like
They selling pussy
it's
for
the
$100
same
still?
way we think
I was
we should
making a
take
joke.
the
He
advantage
said
still?
still.
and
He
go
said
buy
still.
the Bentley. It's go. All right, let me go fuck the trash chick that everyone's fucked in the club because that's what I saw was the trophy. And it's like, dog.
Our culture is so crazy, bro. This shit is
See, I ain't saying that. I'm like, dang, this wild. I don't want to offend nobody.
I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing as that.
No, it's
perception.
wild. I'm
it's a
saying,
perception.
like-
You think you find a fulfillment in some shit that's not really fulfilling.
Yeah, yo, let me.
It's not just
Since I'm the
materialistic
R&B
shit.
guy in the room, let me just say this: it's nothing more fulfilling than love, bro. Nothing.
nothing
sure.
more fulfilling than love.
And love, like
It's
genuine.
the point of
love.
our existence.
Like when somebody love you for all of the good and bad of a person that you are, and that don't mean you a criminal or nothing, but it's just like we all got our things. You know what I'm saying? You might leave your socks on the floor. Somebody, I accept you. It's like, all right, that it's nothing more warm and fulfilling than that. That's more than
I have
money.
way more demons
More
than
than
socks on the
everything.
floor.
No, listen, we got demons over here. So I'm finna tell y'all.
Save it for the music.
I'm not finna be like, yeah,
No,
when
write it
when
down.
I was 5. Like, no, listen. It's
But love.
as a person, things come with a human being, and when someone really loves you back, it's nothing like that. Like, and I feel like a lot of dudes, especially and now in R&B, everybody hard. You not hard, though. You wasn't getting no girls. Number one,
Right.
Well, that's
Number
why they,
two, you
that's why they
had-
sing that way.
Yeah.
That's why they sing that way.
You
I'm saying
had
that
no
shit.
money.
Yeah.
That's facts. Let's look at your tax statement. You had 0 income, probably. Most of you guys out there, and it's not no diss. It's not a
No
diss.
diss.
It's a.
And he was mad at Russ's delivery.
No, but listen,
I'm
I'm
fucking with you,
talking
bro.
trash, but that's me. That's
Yeah.
my life.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I wanted to get a girl, I'm gonna make you laugh so hard. I'm gonna charm you.
Yeah.
I wasn't just walking in nowhere and people be like, oh my God, look at him. Like, no, I'm a regular guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when people get into the industry, they start feeling themselves a certain way and then you gonna get humbled. You know what I'm saying? Because when you not that guy no more, you feel that when you sitting in your room, in your mansion, man, they not talking about me no more. You think I'm still hot? Yo, I don't know. My label told me they finna drop me, dog. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, they cheated me anyway. I heard, like, listen, Rory was saying about, like, how they be getting the money and like
Don't add me into
I'm
his
just saying,
infidelities.
No, I'm just saying like this how people start thinking.
No, I agree.
When they make a bad decision, a lot of bad decisions, because we all make bad decisions, but it's like when you just compile bad decision on bad decision, it's like, yo, you don't have to portray being hard with girls. You didn't get girls. That's okay.
And it's clear.
We
can all identify.
We all know.
We know
and
that
we
guy.
know about the girl you with now versus the girls you was with.
And by your first baby mother.
Your first baby mother. And
Terrible.
that's fine.
They first one be terrible.
You be like, dang. I be cracking up with my girl. I'm
Oh,
like,
no,
these
these days, their seventh be bad still, and they millionaires.
it be bad. But
Yeah.
I think like for a lot of dudes, especially in the R&B space, I can't speak on rappers and telling them to do nothing different. But we got to stop pretending. And like even for the guys, if you always got girls, that's dope. It's few of us. And when I say us, I'm not the guy who was getting hundreds of girls. Like,
You was a virgin until you met your queen.
I was a virgin until I met my girl. Thank
100%.
you. Appreciate that.
With you.
So it's a few guys, yeah, but let them be authentic. That's my thing. It's like authenticity is dying. People are not comfortable being them. Like, be comfortable being a nigga who didn't get no girls, and now you do.
Right.
Respect those girls. Show them a good time because it's fun. Women are fun. Unless you don't like women in that way, that's cool. But if you do, it's cool. Have a good time. Go out to dinner. Every girl's not a whore. Every girl's not, you know what I mean?
A majority of them are not.
They don't even understand a lot of them. They like, girls just throw their bodies at you.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I think so. I don't know. Maybe they like me. It's
And
like,
even-
or maybe you're a star.
Even the dudes with money and status, I'm like, yo, if you lead with just being yourself and then they find out you have money and status, they looking at you like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold on. He
like,
was he
wow.
was cool before he
cool
said like, wait,
That's
hold on.
facts.
Wait, hold on.
But when
He's
you
funny.
lead with money, that's usually what you're gonna lose.
And you look
You're gonna
clean.
lose
They
your
going
money.
after, yeah.
Nobody cares about. That's my thing. I'm trying to destroy the like looking cool or looking corny. You are who
Just
you
be
are.
yourself, yeah.
Everybody got their advantages. If you play basketball and you can't dunk, you're gonna obviously lay it up. It's not many, or you're gonna shoot. What you gonna say? All he do is shoot. All he do is. Yeah, I'm gonna drain you. Buckets, like. So it's like if somebody got bread and that's their thing to get the shorty, yo, whatever she want, I'm gonna give it to it. That's not corny. It's corny if you do it because that's not you. But
I still think it's corny.
that's what I'm saying. It's not you.
still
So if
think
I
it's
ever hear you doing it,
No, I'm
I'm
saying,
like,
you know,
that's corny.
I'm saying even if that's you, I think that's
It's
corny.
not no corny. We too far in
Ain't no
in human
value and
evolution.
connection in that shit.
But see, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
what'd you start with? This,
you
the
don't
whole world is about
understand-
love.
No, but everybody's version of love is different. My version of love, that can't be mine.
I don't want a
I got too much
transactional love.
trauma. I need to feel like you really
Same.
love me. Like
I'm the
you
same way.
love me.
I'm the
You
same.
feel me?
I'm the exact same way.
I'm
So transactional
sensitive.
love, I can do transactional fun, and I'm not even saying
Yeah, but not
an
love.
actual
Yeah,
like
yeah,
actual. I've
yeah.
not paid for sex, but I'm saying
Yeah.
transactional. Like we
Yeah,
have.
don't incriminate yourself.
Is that illegal?
A lot of
I've never
places.
done it. I'm just.
I mean, listen.
But I'm saying transactional
I
fun
don't
is
know
if
the
I'll
law.
pay for
Black
some
people
shit
don't know
that
the
fun.
law until you get locked up.
Oh, till
You
you
like,
get money
I couldn't just take that hat they said on display. You're like, no.
on display.
Better call your parents to come pick you up. That's stealing.
This is on display.
Right. See, in my head, I was thinking the whole time.
I
Like,
actually have a hat.
that pink one is fire.
That's
I
for
have a
you.
hoodie. I have a hoodie
Oh,
for
for
him as
real?
well.
That's for you.
I
yeah.
had my eye on that, low
Yeah,
key.
that's for you.
I was going to ask. You know, church people, we ask for stuff.
I have a hoodie for you as
Y'all
well.
just
It's
take
not
stuff.
pink.
We don't take it. We be like, oh man, those are some nice sneakers you got.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. I think
Like-
God want me to have
Like
them.
ties and innocence. Anyways, this was a great episode. Damaris is gonna kick us out of here.
I love the fact that we sat here and spoke and mentioned nothing about the project you just put out. I told you, I just wanted to talk.
Listen,
about it.
that's
I didn't
going to
care
do what it
about-
do.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about
But
that. I'm trying to
love
get
your
my
music,
image
love
out.
your craft, love your art. I think you're super dope. I love the fact that you know who you are. You're very self-aware. You're not trying to be nobody else. I dig all of this shit. This shit is super fly to me.
Feel me? This
That shit is
Cashmere
fly.
though.
Oh no, I see
Shout
you.
out,
No, let me see it, Rory Mal.
a black designer, my guy Warrell.
Warrell.
Nice.
Bos, yeah.
That's a good knit.
Warrare, I'm sorry. Warrare.
Good pins on there. I see you. I
He
see how
nice
you
with
putting
it.
it together.
It's about accessories.
Yeah.
Men got to figure out accessories.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we don't know how to accessorize.
We're good
well,
with pins though.
Yeah.
Pins should be men's accessories. I feel
But I
like.
think every man just gotta do your vibe. Whatever your vibe is,
Yeah.
it will always be authentic. Like if this wasn't my vibe, my girl wouldn't like me because she'd be like, "You not being you."
Right.
If she see me, she like, "Oh yeah, babe, that's you."
You got a good
I
one.
like that.
I've
I know, I got a great one.
I've definitely been there. Because that's the best part about having like a girl that's really your girl.
How hard did
You'll
she shake
walk
your
out and be
hand?
like, yo,
Did she shake
that's
your
not
hand
you.
hard or soft? Like did she?
Well,
listen, babe.
I'm,
I'm testing. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I'm in the middle of
I'm joking.
I'm in a weird transitional time in my life.
Don't worry about it. We ain't even got to go there. Don't
With
worry
that
about it.
said,
just let it
yes,
go.
it's amazing when you have a partner,
Yeah.
male, female, whatever, that will be like, hey, that's not you. Take that. That shit may look cool to somebody else. That ain't you. Take that shit off. You look nuts.
Yeah, you look stupid as fuck. That's when you know y'all in love. Like you look stupid. Take that shit off. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, man, I'm just. It's a pleasure to meet you, man.
God
I'm a
bless,
fan.
man.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And we got a hoodie for you. We got a hat for you.
Let's go. I like free stuff.
Yeah, man.
I don't need
no.
6 Bentleys.
No, you rich. No, you got Cash App?
Who told you I was rich?
You.
I mean,
Every 7 minutes.
I implied. I never said that. I'm not the police.
Allegedly.
I'm not a nerd. I don't tell.
Theme of this entire episode, allegedly.
Any tours
Allegedly.
coming up soon? Shows?
No, I actually just finished my tour. Like last month. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a vibe.
Yeah.
You know, I think I'm going to Asia like in a couple months.
That's fine.
In Spain, somewhere.
It's a
like that.
big continent.
Listen,
You
man.
said it like you was going to Cleveland.
No, because I'm going to multiple places in Asia.
Okay.
So it's kind of, I can't say like eat. Well, I could, but I don't.
That's like
remember
saying
got
I'm,
merch?
I'm going to the world.
Yeah,
You look like you
man.
had some fire
I
ass
got
merch.
fire merch, and I'm always getting better. Like I'm trying to actually build my brand to like where eventually these kind of things that I like come up with.
If you start giving
I'll
out
be able to sell
cashmere cardigans, we're gonna
No,
talk
they
more
ain't
about
not
that
getting
money.
cash. You gonna pay
I'm
the
about to say
cash.
we got to start talking
Like
about
my
that
guy
money a
told
little
me,
more.
he gave me the price
That's
for it.
merch.
I
Cashmere
said,
sweaters. Like, wait, hold on.
I said, is that like the rush order price or is like the normal price?
No,
He's
no.
like, it's Cashmere, baby.
Yeah,
That's the price.
that's the price.
I said, damn, no. You know what? I ain't gonna ask for a discount because I don't like when people ask me for one.
Listen,
Right.
I was putting together the merch shit for the album, and I wanted to do this nice ass fleece, like a real fucking fleece. And I was like, I do like 50 of them, whatever. I saw that price,
You do it.
even to break even. I was like, yo, our listeners pay like $25 for a t-shirt. They
Yeah.
not buying this $250
No.
fleece.
No, but they are though.
Some people will.
The consumer market is different.
No,
now,
it's
bro.
quality, but I just couldn't. That
Sometimes
quickly to
it's a
ask
risk
somebody,
though. It's
It
a
is.
risk.
It's always a risk.
Because it's like, dang, if I got this shirt that I paid what X amount for, and the margins are better, it's like cool. So if they end up sitting for a little while, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
but
whatever.
you spend $100,000 on like 40
Bullshit.
jackets, you're
Yeah.
like, dang.
Yeah. And
And
then
I
you like,
have
well,
to sell these.
Yeah, I guess-
like it's not an option.
Then you sell half of them.
You selling them with CDs like the Bulls in New York. They be like, "Yo, I got these CDs." You can be like,
you
"Yo,
like hip-hop?
I got
Yo,
these."
I got these jackets.
you like leather jackets that are expensive?
Listen, I'll take anything. Bitcoin, Cash App, whatever.
Well, this was good. I was gonna get to the record you and I had, but we could save that.
Yeah, let's save it
I
to
wanna
when
save
you
it.
actually gonna put it out.
Don't do that.
No, I'm saying
no. Now I feel
'cause
judged and hurt.
I've been sitting on that. I've been
know.
like, oh my god, I've been wanting it to come out, bro. And I really like. You like the song too?
Well,
it's a vibe.
everything we talked about with the label situation, I had to get out of. I didn't want to waste that shit. Now we'll make more money.
Listen. If you creative, be one side creative, one side the money.
Yes, we'll make.
You gonna be fine. I
So
promise
happy
you.
we sat on this record. But
It's a good record.
It's
Anyways,
a great record.
Yeah.
Maul, you're good at outros. I'm not.
No, just thank Pink
Bye.
Sweats for coming through, man. Do I have to call you Pink Sweats? Can I just call you like
You can just call me Pink or Sweats.
Pink?
Whatever,
I don't want to
bro.
call you Pink.
Oh yeah, it's a Pink. You call me Sweats. A lot of
Sweats?
people call me Sweats. Yeah.
I'll call you Sweats from now on.
Sweats.
Sweats. We
Don't let
appreciate you
Keith
coming
know.
through, man. No, it's
Keith's
with an
gonna
S though.
It's a
It's a
Plural.
dollar sign.
Dollar sign.
Dollar sign.
listen. Keith Sweat is the OG.
100%. 100%.
Appreciate you coming through, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
No, Rory